Hello and welcome. Oh, sorry, you're going to start. Go ahead.
The very first second, and we've already blown the professionalism of this show. But
If
anyway,
you remember, when you said you were going to start, I was counting down the countdown over you. So why are you expecting me to hear? I have no idea.
Anyway, evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Effect Podcast live stream of Alien: The Colony. We have a lovely cast and crew with us today. First things first, just to say this is an Alien role-playing game. There will be very likely violence, death, horror themes, potentially. There will definitely be adult themes and maybe some adult language, so bear that in mind, certainly for any younger viewers. With that in mind, I'm going to jump straight on with episode 5. The Wolf Lives Right Here. What's the story so far? The trial of Zenaida Ibeck has come and gone. She pleaded guilty to the manslaughter of Garth Verdeen through poor maintenance of the dipper in which he died. Many know there is more behind the story, but none are speaking it. Ibeck has gone on record with her testimony, and the victim's partner, Fashani Verdeen, has publicly stated she thinks justice has been served. Ibeck has been sentenced to 10 years re-education at a UPP facility back within the Outer Rim territories, and has also been ordered to submit to restitutional justice and face Fashani Verdeen while she waits the arrival of the first supply vessel to take her back. The weather is warming up on one Iota Scorpii as the short year moves quickly into spring, but the weather is hotting up too as the sudden increase in warmth leads to stronger winds and bigger swells. The tides are naturally noticeably bigger too, the seas washing further up as the year progresses into summer. The people of the colony are pleased to see the warmer weather coming, but there remains some discontent. Motivation could be higher, and some minor illnesses have been doing the rounds. But life and the work of Solovetski Island goes on. I'm just going to get our cast for today to introduce themselves. I think we'll start with the first new member of the group, Alexander Ivanov. Ali.
Yeah, I'm Alexander Ivanov, and I'm a fairly simple farmer. I don't really do much else, but I do it very well, and I kind of just wish everyone would let me get on with it and just do what I do best for the better of the colony and stop trying to meddle and just making it worse.
Cool, thank you. Let's move to Oscar Prishka next.
Sure. Hi, I'm Frank, and I'm playing Oscar today again, another farmer, another agriculturalist who's quite idealistic, and he's definitely not impressed with the things that have been going on with the Zybeck, for example. And so I'm just basically here to try and make this colony viable. So I'm looking forward to our explorations today.
Cool, thank you. Dmitry Ivanovsky.
Yeah, hi there, I'm Tony. I'm Dmitry Ivanovsky. I'm a scientist in the colony, geologist formally by trade, but I do like to keep my finger in many other scientific pies as well. I have wide knowledge across many disciplines. I'm not the chief scientist of the colony, which I continue to think is much to the detriment of the colony.
And the chief science advisor being a LaSalle representative, and you obviously being from the UPP.
Yeah, or just the chief science advisor not being me is my main gripe.
Fair enough. Okay, talking of LaSalle, let's go to James Hutton and Paul.
I'm Paul, playing James Hutton. He works as a surveyor for LaSalle Bionational. He's just come out of hospital after having gotten half of his leg bitten off by the sounds of it. Luckily, he was saved, but that was only by somebody ripping into his leg with a knife. So he's catching an injury at the moment.
I think the majority of your actual recovery is for the efforts to remove the little creature that was burrowing into your leg, rather than the damage that the creature did. But you're
yeah. He was using a blunt knife and a chopstick to get it out. So.
Yeah. Yes, standard medical kit in the UPP, surely.
Yeah, he was pretty well equipped then, was he? Impressive.
Okay, and last but not least, Matthew playing Shu.
Hello, I'm Xu Guang. You may know me as Inspector Xu of the Inspector Xu Mysteries. No. I'm just a hard-working detective here who solved the recent case, meeting everybody's needs just about, except for what one might argue is the perpetrator, but also the victim, or a victim. So yeah, but today is my day off. Don't worry about me. Just pretend I'm not here. I'm, or rather, I'm with my mate Oscar Pritzker. Ever since we joined the colony, I have befriended Oscar Pritzker because I'm a bit of a Epicurean, and I want to encourage the growth of delicious vegetables like peppers and tomatoes and things in Oscar's hydroponics, and hopefully to get a little bit more than my ration because I love to cook.
So you think we're friends, do you?
I think we're friends.
Yeah. What's
do.
Oscar's view on the subject?
We'll discover that later.
Cool. Well, thank you all very much. So the first year has passed, and now we need to complete what we started very briefly at the end of the last episode, which is seeing how the colony has been doing as a colony over the last year of time on one Iota Scorpii, which actually is only 72 days, but it's that's the cycle we're working to. So last time we started by rolling the events that have what's the right word? Framed this particular cycle, and we rolled that nothing much else had happened other than the things that had been going on in the adventures. We then need to see how the population has changed. So there have been obviously a couple of deaths, and you do still have some of the colonists who came with the original ship in orbit. So some of those might have been revived. So I need a dice roll.
So when you say that, we've got people in long-term suspended animation still in orbit.
Yep, there's a few of those, and basically that you will have kind of unfrozen all of them at the point where your supply runs start to come, and you can start to get new people in through those supply runs.
So as we build capacity, we've also got people waiting to join us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I need a D66 roll, please. Your population at the moment started as 200. I think you've had what? Garth has died. Is it just the one death so far?
Well,
So I think only one person's died so far. So that's 199. So I want D66 divided by 2, please.
Who would you like to roll?
Anybody, I don't mind.
Go on, I'll go. That's nobody else.
Yep.
D66 divided by 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to roll black first. So that's 51 divided by 2, rounding up or down?
Round down.
25 in that case.
Okay, so your population has gone up to 224. So you've managed to make enough space for another 25 people to come down. So now we need to see how well the command team are doing their jobs. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the colony sheet.
Oh, good, you have got it then.
I have it
somewhere. Because none of us did.
No.
So we were hoping that you did.
So I think this is the right one. Bear with me for a moment. There we go. Right. So, right. I'm just going to share that screen. Okay, that should be coming now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see if I... Okay, so we have 224. Right, so you see on the aspects, economy, potential, productivity, maintenance, science, and spirit, we need to roll for each of the people in charge of each of those to see how well they've done. But first and foremost, we need to add the bonuses that you had from last time. So economy had +1 from last time. So your economy is now gone up to 3. And science had +1 from last time. So that now goes up to 5. if you recall, 6 is the maximum you can have. 1 is the minimum. If you have any scores that are 1 at the end of this process, you run the risk of the colony declining, or in your case, because it can't decline anywhere, collapsing. If you have 6s and you have enough population to go to the next level, which you don't yet, but if you have 6s, you have the chance to grow. But we need to see how well each of the people have done in terms of running their part of the colony at a strategic level. Last week we rolled, because we had Connor in the chair, for Tan Blatchman, and he got 1 success, which turned your spirit score up to 5. But we now need to do it for the rest. So we'll do the colony supervisor last, but we'll start with Alison Senna for economy. So we need somebody to roll. She has 5 dice for her key skill in economy. This is something that can't be pushed. And you need to get at least 1 success, in which case the aspect status stays the same. If you get more than 1 success, it will go up. If you fail, it will go down.
Sure, I'll go for this one.
Great, thanks, Ellie.
1 success.
1 success. So economy stays at 3. So she's done an okay job. The economy of the place isn't brilliant, as you knew from the start, but it's hanging on. It's doing okay. It's not declining, which is obviously a positive thing. Okay, now potential. So Andre Trin is the prospector general. He's in charge of potential. At this point, potential can only go down or stay the same. So we need somebody to roll for Andre Trin. He is Alison Senna, just for information, if you're not aware, is UPP. She is the corporate director. She's the most senior UPP person on the base. Andre Trin, as the name suggests, is Senna is a LaSalle, not UPP.
Senna's LaSalle.
Yes, she is, yep. Trin is UPP. Trin has only got 4 dice for his key skill, if somebody would like to roll that.
Yeah, I'll go
I'll
first.
roll that.
No, I was the first. I have 1 success.
Okay, so the potential stays at 6. So the rhodium settlement isn't quite finalised yet between LaSalle and the UPP, but now the vein is starting to be exploited in a slightly more thorough way. There are now growing rumours that it might not be as good as everybody had hoped, but those are just rumours. This is just the noise going on around the corridors of the colony. Productivity, Ivan Suvorov. He's got 1 point of clout at the moment, which actually he shouldn't have. So, because clout gives you a bonus to your dice pool, whereas what happened over the events around the from a couple of scenarios ago, where you went and
he lost popular appeal.
He did, because the way he handled the unauthorized prospecting that some of you followed and chased down. So he gets what does he get? He gets 6 dice for this.
Shall I roll this one?
Yeah.
Go for it.
And I have 6 dice. Can't fail with 6 dice, surely. And you can't push.
You can't push.
Okay. Well, I'm afraid he's failed.
Okay. So the productivity under his command in this last few months has gone down, as has his clout as a result again. Okay, that's not great. Maintenance. The chief engineer, Gus Shepherd, he is a LaSalle engineer. He has 6 dice for his maintenance role.
Paul?
Okay, as the only true capitalist.
I like to think of you as the last true capitalist, Paul.
Once. Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes. So he's done a great job. So with that extra success, means that gets a bonus point. So the maintenance has gone up to 4. So the radiation, the slight corrosiveness in the seawater, the weather have all conspired to make maintenance a tough job around here. The crews have been struggling to keep up, but under the leadership of Shepard, they've been doing a pretty strong job. Although the occasional power failures, some of the water leaks and system malfunctions are beginning to get a little bit tiresome. So then we move on to the last role we have here. That's Sterling Lau, who is the science advisor. Sterling is a LaSalle man, and Sterling has 5 dice and 1 clout. So he gets 6 dice in total.
Tony?
Go on then. So it goes against my principles to roll for some.
You want this to fail then, Tonya?
6 dice, yeah?
Yes.
I'll watch me roll 5 6s now. Oh, I get 2 6s.
Wow,
Okay.
the sour great.
That's annoying.
So that goes up to 6. So that's an excellent. So yeah, quite a lot has happened in science terms over the last few months here. The lagoon flowers that you found early on with the colonies of the shrimp ants have been successfully transplanted to a small island to the north of the colony, but within the archipelago where your island is, where your colony is based. The work is being overseen by Dr. Ivanovsky, obviously under the direction of I guess it's Professor Lau. The studies into the sea worms have shown that they're arthropoidal creatures, and there's nothing so far to suggest that farming them for food would be a bad thing. Especially now you have at least one method to harvest their eggs, which was found in that underwater cave that you found a couple of episodes ago. The striped yellow and red sea worm predator creatures, the 10-meter long things that have now been nicknamed wasp sharks, they haven't been studied further through lack of opportunity, but a warning has been posted that they may present a threat to seagoing traffic, although there have been no reported incidents yet. Studies into the other flora and fauna found in the underground thermal cave have shown that the tiny lizard creature that burrowed into Hutton seems to live, I guess naturally enough, a fairly parasitic life cycle, where they burrow in, lay some eggs, and those eggs would then eat their way out of the host. It seems as if that they probably wouldn't be fatal to a creature as large as a human. And then they've also been examining the fungus that had been gathered from the mushroom spores, from the mushrooms that were in the cave. And this is very similar to Earth, where these spores are basically airborne reproduction seeds in effect.
Did medical confirm that none of the little buggers laid eggs in me?
Yes, it hadn't had a chance to lay any eggs in you by the time it was dealt with.
Extracted, yeah.
Yep. So that's where you stand at the moment. Those are your aspect statuses. So we've got one more role here, actually, which is the role for Svetlana Lykanova, the colony supervisor. Now, she obviously has an influence over everything. So she gets a roll. She has 8 dice with her roll. She also has a clout of 1, so that's 9 dice. And if she's successful, then you would randomly increase one of the other aspects.
Ali, you know who's...
Ali, do you want to roll the 9 dice?
Yes, I do. It's only 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, that means that she succeeds.
Sadly.
So 2 of your aspects gain a bonus, but they're random. So roll a d6 and tell me what number you get, and do that twice, please, Ali.
Sure. The first one is a 4.
4. Okay, she's obviously been helping out Shepard with the maintenance, and the maintenance has improved as a result of her intention.
And then a 5 against science.
Yeah, so that's great. It can't go up any higher than 6, sadly.
Okay.
Okay, so actually the colony's doing pretty well across a range of scores that go from 1 to 6. You now need to decide on your policies, installations, and projects for this next cycle. Now, the policy lasts for 2 cycles. So the lab-grown rations has to work for a second cycle. So you can't change that. But you can choose a new installation or a new project, one or either, for this coming
Just one. Yes.
Just one. Yeah. You get more as the colony grows, so you get to choose more when you reach beta. Now there is a list of those which I think you should all have to hand.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yes.
I'm going to stop sharing that for the moment. Well, actually, but makes sense to keep sharing that whilst so you can see the scores you might want to change.
Yeah.
So I'll bring that back up again. So, what suggestions, what ideas have you got to go for?
So the installation. Sorry, just a quick question. So the cost to commission installation is -2 economy. So that's for any installation, regardless of the aspect that it's related to.
Yes.
And then -1 to the related aspect for that.
Yeah.
But a project doesn't have any cost like that to kick off.
Unless it's listed under the project itself. So some projects will cost you economy.
Okay, yeah, so they do have their own specific costs.
But your lab-grown rations will give you +1 over the period to your economy. They'll give you +1 to science, which I'll put on here just in case science goes down. But it'll give you -1 to spirit because people get sick of eating lab-grown algae mush.
Yum yum.
We want proper food.
You want algae from the environment, not a lab.
No, we want to be growing stuff in algae. Simple hydroponics.
So
But that's me.
Yeah, you're just fussy.
there's no installation that will boost economy, is there?
No project, you mean?
No.
Well, yeah, giving the workers the means of production would surely boost the economy.
It should.
Tried and tested method. Stop LaSalle taking profit out of it all the time.
Raw materials project gives +1 to economy, +1 to productivity, but it takes 1 out of science and spirit.
Taking 1 out of science is irrelevant, though, for us, because we'll just keep it at 6.
Yeah, but
So if we
we'd
lose-
lose. We'd end up losing 2 on spirit though because we're already
Okay, yeah.
-1.
The
Value
economy.
for spirit is not bad actually. And
Yeah, it's not bad. We could afford to.
it
lose
was
a bit
saying,
of
however, that there are grumbles going on.
Yeah, and if we lose 2, we're down to 3 in that then, aren't we? So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but we're down to 3 on the economy as we stand.
that's true. So yeah, I think we probably do want to do something that boosts the economy. I'm not sure cartels fit in with the principles of the
Absolutely not.
EPP approach to the economy.
Well, it's controlling the supply. It's planned economy, isn't it?
Well, that's
Yeah,
fair.
but it's not, when the government does it, it's fine. When cartels do
exactly.
it, profit taking.
We just got it a government
profiteering.
cartel. Yeah, just looking through.
Pass it up the chain. Pass up the chain. There's some research that's too hot to hold. Needs to be sent to the companies. +1 economy, +1 science, -1 spirit, -1 potential.
Is that a policy?
Yeah, it's a policy.
That is a
Project.
project.
22,
It's a
right at the
project.
bottom.
Project under
Right.
science.
Page 22.
Sorry, I should say what page it's on.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
Oh,
that
yes,
gives
that
boosts the
could be
economy, and obviously the science we can't boost anymore, so we're kind of wasting that. Plus, in thematically, I feel, this idea that we can't handle the science here. I mean, maybe if I was the chief advisor, we would be able to.
I mean, I think from the looks of things, we're handling the science pretty well already.
It's not very UPP, but there's a project called New Off-World Suppliers, which gives you +1 maintenance, +1 economy, -2 potential.
Yeah, percent maintenance.
That's
Yeah, we do have
Page
quite a lot
22
of
as well.
potential to play with.
we're building a sustainable economy and a sustainable colony here. So we don't need any off-world supplies. We have a whole world, world to build utopia.
Although, obviously, we're going to be getting
paradise.
We are going to be getting supplies, at least for a while, until we're fully self-sufficient. We will need to get supplies.
Well,
I guess if we go for new off-world suppliers, it means we don't have to take them from the company.
It says in the text you don't have to take the crap the company sends. As a Lascelles employee, I would say you don't have to take the crap the UPP sends.
Well,
I think you'll find the UPP sends only the finest produce.
Yeah, that's why we're eating algae.
Just not here yet.
It's just not here yet.
Exactly. But when it gets here, it will be the finest produce.
Yes.
Yes.
The 5-year plan will be completed in 4 years. And in 4 cycles, we'll have the very finest produce that the Middle Kingdoms can offer. That the Union of Progressive Peoples can offer.
So what ones are we gonna do then? What are we gonna do?
I think raw materials sounded pretty good.
Science and but remember that takes spirit down to 3.
Yeah,
How many things do we get to?
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have to be a project as well, or?
It's either an installation or a project.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you've already got a
But
policy.
Because the policy is already got,
any installation we do will automatically be -2 economy. So I think we probably want to stick
to do that. Yeah.
We want to go with the project rather than installation, I think.
Then we just have to. Yeah, definitely.
And pass it up the chain. Is that a flyer for us or not?
It could be. Yeah. The only argument against, I guess, is that we're basically losing 2 points in 2 things to gain 1 point in 1.
Because we're not gaining any science. I think
science is already so good. But
the devious person who wrote this chart probably balanced them all out to be zero-sum gains. Right?
But we can kind of game it to gain more than we lose by losing 1 in science, seeing as that will just keep us at 6.
Mm-hmm.
So we can gain.
I imagine if we lose 1 in science, we will lose 1 in science.
Will it not go down and then?
6. We can't
not
get
go down to 5 and then up.
Oh well, yeah, I guess so. Maybe
It depends what order they go in, right? Does it go down to 5 and then up to 6, or do you do the positives and then the negatives?
Ooh.
Well, basically, for the next cycle, you would roll for the events. The events can affect your aspect statuses, and then you apply all the statuses at the same time. So if you got +1, -1, you'd just balance them out at 0.
Okay, so we could try and get it so we only lose 1 thing to gain 2 things by taking something that has minus science.
which is the pass it up the line.
Pass it up the chain.
Pass it up the chain. I mean,
that has plus science.
That has plus science. We would lose spirit and potential.
We have a lot of potential as well. We could go for maybe public meetings. That's plus spirit, plus productivity for minus potential, minus science.
Which
it's under spirit. It's the third on the bottom project.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think public meetings are always good. Keeping the people informed and involved.
Yeah. It's still a newish colony.
Which doesn't help our economy, but then I guess
no economy, is it?
We're getting
But
plus
the
one
economy
with
is
the
going
economy.
to 4 anyway. Hopefully.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good compromise.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
public meetings is a good option.
Public meetings.
Yeah, that's my vote.
Yeah. Just what an organisation like the UPP loves. Public meetings where people can say exactly what they want and be completely ignored by the proletariat.
I mean, have all of their ideas listened to, you mean?
And then ignored.
Okay, so it's +1 to spirit and +1 to productivity, -1 to potential. and -1 to science. Okay, cool. I think that is the end of the cycle.
Good.
Let me just make sure we're not missing anything. You've chosen that. Yeah. Okay. So, you've chosen your stuff for the next time round. Actually, you're in a pretty good state. You're having public meetings, presumably because people are still grumbling, and this is a good way to manage that.
Well, the spirit's getting up now, isn't it? Sure, that'll mean there'll be less grumbling with the spirit getting up to those levels. Sure.
Cool. Excellent. Right
Hopefully.
then. Well, okay, that's cool. Good. Well done. So then, far to the north, hundreds of miles to the north, lie the Great Sargasso Seas of one Iota Scorpii's northern polar region. As the planet closes with the star and spring begins to rapidly progress towards summer, previously unseen currents have sprung to life and are carrying enormous threads of the seaweed close to Solovetski Island. One thread, perhaps 20 kilometers across at its widest, has been swept through the Notscha Strait, and this has been seen as too good an opportunity to miss. The agrarians, Alexander Ivanov and Oskar Prishka, have been instructed to form a team and go examine the seaweed for colony benefits. Scientist Dr. Ivanovsky and the prospector James Hutton have been assigned as well. And at the last minute, Inspector Shu, off duty and looking to help his fellow colonists.
So why did you think it happened?
Has volunteered to tag along as an extra pair of hands. So let me just get that out of the way because I don't need that for now. I'm going to pull up. I can get rid of that one now. I'm going to pull up map of the local area for you, just to remind you of where everything is. Right, I'm just going to share this screen. Okay, let me know when you can see. Are we seeing the map, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, just popped up.
Okay, so this is the close-in image, obviously, of the local area. Stepping out one step, this shows the Solovetski archipelago, and actually the lagoon flowers have been transplanted on these islands up here to the north.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see my cursor,
Yeah.
and that's where they're being grown and monitored. But if we come out one step further, you'll see you have the Notscha Straits, which runs to the northeast of the northwest of the archipelago, and it runs between where you are and the More Kanonov, known as the Sea of Canyons, and this line of islands basically acts as a bit of a break, because you get quite a lot of big waves coming across the Sea of Canyons that build up further to the north. And these islands act as a break. So the worst of those swells and those waves don't hit the colony. But you've been informed from the scans and from some reconnaissance that there are a couple of very large threads of Sargassum kelp being pulled through the Notscha Straits, and it's your job to go and examine them. What do you want to do, guys?
I'm at your command, Oscar.
You had my command. That makes a change. Well, I guess we need to assemble our team and see, are we taking one tractor out? Are we taking two? What sort of weather are we expecting while we are out there? And how long do we think this whole journey is going to take?
Okay, well, each of those hexes is 5 kilometers.
That's not too far.
The sort of the maximum speed, sort of the safe cruising speed on the water is about 50 kilometers an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go about 10 hexes an hour at maximum sort of cruising speed. So, it's there and back in a day quite comfortably if you wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm. Do we need any special equipment? I was asking our scientists. Ivanovsky.
Yes, I imagine we'll want some scientific equipment to study the definitely
Excellent
scientific
science.
equipment. Let's.
I was thinking about the harvesting attachment.
Well, we want to go and look at
Dave?
it in.
Sorry, Dave. Last session, my pups drones, I think, got destroyed.
They did, didn't they?
Did I manage to replace them?
I don't think you replaced them. I think you could try to repair them in between times.
While I was laying in my sick bed.
Yeah, I think you haven't been in your sickbed for that long, and this is a good couple of weeks, so you're okay. Unless, of course, you're milking it, going, "Oh, my poor leg, it's so sore."
It depends. Is there any? Am I the only LaSalle person going out on this trip? The rest of all these UPP communist people.
I think they are all UPPers, other than you. Yes.
Oh, brilliant.
We're
I
all
don't
working
care
together.
about
We're all working
the
together
good
for
of
the
the
good of the
colony.
colony, aren't we?
I completely agree, and I really don't care about your politics. I just want my equipment working.
So
We all want to eat.
I think yes. I think your pups can have been. You could have put them into the workshop, and the maintenance crew will have repaired your pups for you.
Thank you. I won't delete them from my inventory then.
Not yet. No. You have been informed that the seas are noticeably rougher than before. That's felt to be the influence of getting closer to the sun and the tides getting bigger. There's no bad weather or no storm warning in place, but you are aware that the weather can change pretty fast here. But otherwise, it looks like about as good conditions as you could get.
Does the higher swell basically change our speed, our cruising speed, or not?
Not significantly, no.
Okay. Right. Let's get our stuff together then, yeah?
Yeah, so are we just going to take one track to remind me how many people can comfortably fit in?
You could comfortably get 6 in one of these.
Should we need space for some scientific equipment as well?
And probably some samples of stuff.
We'll definitely want to bring some samples back, yes.
Here's a very rough image map of one of these things.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that airlock.
Yes, it's your favourite airlock.
So we can have the storage, and it should be.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of storage. They're designed for lots of storage. They're designed for 6 people. It's not comfortable, but it's perfectly livable with. You could live on one of these for a couple of weeks with 6 people.
Now, my own tractor had the surveying equipment on it. Is there one which basically has a big grabbing arm somewhere or fishing?
Yes, absolutely. You can change to a harvesting one. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's go for that because I think that will make it easier once we get there.
Get some samples, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, you know that these things come as standard. They'll come with spare parts and tools, emergency kit, 3 compression suits, rations of water, rations and water, and then they would have probably another 7 slots for more equipment if you wanted to take it. So you could easily fit all the science equipment you wanted within probably 3 of those.
Having a compression suit per person might be useful, just in case of emergency.
To build a
That
safe
might
side,
help.
that would seem sensible, wouldn't it? So you can add a couple of compression
I feel like
suits.
there's very few situations where we're going to be leaving the safety of the colony and aren't going to want some compression suits, just in case.
Just in case, yes. I've heard stories.
Dave, sorry, another question. Did by any chance my all but useless eco all-world survival suit get repaired?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're still sore about that, aren't you, Paul?
I am. It's got 4 armour and this thing chewed through it.
Well, now I've written some rules about breaching sealed suits. Then that might come in handy at some point.
I'll remind you. I'm taking that then.
Yeah. Okay, but you can get another 2 compression seats to go with the 3 that you've already got as well, if you want.
Yeah,
smart.
I think we should. And obviously just take, normal kind of sample containers and general scientific equipment that we'd take. Do these things have kind of scanners on? So when we get close to these seaweed stuff, will we be able to kind of scan it to get an idea of its extent, how far down it goes under the water, or would that be a job for Hutton's pups to do that?
With the farming rig that you've attached to the thing, then no, you don't have that. If you'd kept the surveying prospecting rig, then you would have got some of that. But having swapped out that for the farming harvesting rig, then no, you don't. The pups would probably do the job. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine then.
And bearing in mind our previous experience, can we nip to the medical bay and grab some napper leave?
Make a manipulation roll, Paul, when you get to the med bay.
1 success.
They're very grumpy. They're very busy, and they're like, we don't have drugs just to hand out to anybody willy-nilly, but you can get 1 dose for that.
Thank you.
Willy-nilly. That must be LaSalle personnel.
It probably is.
If I could do a Russian accent, I'd try it with that, but I can't. So
Definitely LaSalle then.
Well, what I was thinking, Oscar, was last time you got a bit panicky, didn't you? So you couldn't fly us out. I had to do it. And you're supposed to be a better pilot than me.
I don't drive these things. I fix these things. You can drive.
Oh, thanks.
When you break them, then I fix them.
Anyone else drive at all? Anyone else got any piloting skill?
I can.
Piloting, no.
I've got 6 in piloting total.
That's grand. I've got 3.
I don't think I have, but I don't remember considering it. Let me just check.
I sort of forgot about it, to be honest.
No, I didn't.
The character.
I
meaning
chose ranged combat instead.
Looks like I'm driving then.
right. Okay then.
We knew we were bringing the LaSalle guy for something.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to share that map again. Okay, you know where you are, down at Solovetski Island, down to the bottom left. Tell me where you want to go.
We can't see the map.
We need the map to look.
Not yet. But what's the predominant
I think Matt
direction?
needs to do that. Matthew,
Yeah?
Map.
do you want to put the map up?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you'd taken it down.
Okay.
So are the green sections on here? That's where the
Yes, that's where the threads of seaweed have been previously reported. Yeah.
Is the main wind direction from the northeast, or where does
The
it come
prevailing wind for here is coming from the southeast. It's a northwesterly wind.
but the threads of seaweed
That's
are
right.
they going in that direction then?
Yes.
So shall we go straight north? Catch the tip of the whole thing?
So the seaweed is coming from the southeast and heading northwest. Yeah.
So if we head straight up to the tip that's almost directly above us, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of clicks to the right, to the east.
Yeah, it's quite. The strands are quite long, aren't they? So probably can't miss it, can we?
Try us.
Sure.
We didn't take the scanners, remember? Now just
Okay, so
thinking about the wind.
So you're kind of heading for sort of this kind of area where my cursor is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's what, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that's about an hour's sail away at full speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you come out into the deeper water, you can definitely tell the swell is much bigger than you've been familiar with before. If anybody gets seasick, there's quite a roll to this to the sea. It's not rough particularly. It's just got a very heavy swell coming through it. Paul, can you make an observation roll, please?
Yeah. Sorry. One success.
One success. You can definitely feel the strength of the current working on the Dipper as you're sailing it, and you are definitely being dragged further northwest, and you are having to turn the vehicle quite hard into that current to keep yourself on the trajectory that you want to be on, which naturally is slowing you down as well.
I relate this to the others to make sure they know I'm not trying to steer them away from where we're aiming for. And also that it's not a good idea to go out for a little bit of swimming.
Looks like we've got a bit of time for chat, right?
Yeah, you've got about, well, as long as you want before you get there.
So,
actually.
Comrade Drew, what did you make of the whole Zybeck affair? I understand you were involved with it.
It's terrible. A terrible situation.
I'll drop the screen whilst you're having this conversation.
Obviously, it was a special committee was set up, which I was only a very small part of. Obviously, the commissar was involved, and made all the best decisions. But tell me, what do you think of it?
Well, you know what's eating me up a bit? You know, when we first went to that archipelago down there, and we saw those amazing flowers and the shrimp and all that. Zybeck came to me, or well, didn't really come to me, but I observed certainly that how uncomfortable she was down there in the situation. And we noticed, but we left her there. And I still feel that we could have made a difference there if we hadn't left her in that situation.
Before the death?
Yes, it was. But she said she would be okay, and somebody else volunteered to stay there, so it wasn't just the two of them. Yes. But I still feel like there was something there that we could and probably should have done differently. And now
agree.
I think a good woman is suffering.
Indeed, yes. But you know how the UPP works. The other, I get a bit closer.
I take it you two are having this conversation away from the other three.
A bit more privately, yes. I will just say, getting a bit closer. The other party is now a hero of the revolution.
And
the great discoverer. Right. No, I agree it is not right. And justice will be served, but it will take time. There are paths to be negotiated, obstacles to put in the way.
This is not how this life in this new colony should be. It should not be intrigue and politics.
This is what we hoped for, a workers' utopia. But I am determined to cut out the corruption that we see here like a cancer. And, you know, you and I, since the start of the colony, we've always been friends. I trust I can rely on you when the time comes.
When the time comes?
When the time comes. I cannot say when, but there will be a time when we get evidence against.
And it will come.
I can't tell you when, but there will be a time when it comes.
There will be a time. There will be a time when I have the evidence I need to make sure that the hero of the revolution, the discoverer of the rhodium, let us say that his feet shall be seen to be of clay.
Is the rhodium going to benefit us or just these commercial sharks here?
Well, part of the issue is that if true justice had been served straight away, the commercial sharks would have got it all. And there'd have been very little left for the party and for the Union of Progressive Peoples. This way, we've closed a door on their heavier involvement in the rhodium mining.
Worth considering.
I like politics.
I noticed.
I only like it a little bit more than you. It is surely how the proletariat speak power to the powerful. I've said that wrong.
Speak truth to power is what you mean.
Speak truth to the power. Thank you. Politics is how the proletariat speak truth to power.
It is.
And this is why shoot isn't in politics, obviously.
Clearly.
No,
Okay,
I'm just a simple policeman, but there are people in the command team. I'm just wondering whether you should stand for election.
Me? For election?
Yeah. Yes.
You know, we have got these wasp sharks, they're swimming around, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, put me in the tank with those rather than putting me into politics.
Well, you need to find somebody who can speak on your behalf. And I don't think, honestly, I should not say this, but between you and I don't think the commissar is necessarily the person to speak on my behalf. He came up with a very clever plan regarding this difficulty. I mean, there were people demanding her execution. She lives, at least.
Right, she does live. I give you that. Okay, don't want to monopolize too much. So
yeah,
that was cool. Yes, right. So after maybe an hour and a half, I guess, having struggled against the current a little bit, you do start seeing the edge of this field of sargassum, all this kelp, and it goes as far as you can see to the horizon ahead of you. And it's a great big, effectively, it's an island, floating island of seaweed.
So how thick does it look from where we're? How far away from it are we now?
So I think you're approaching within maybe 100 yards of the edge, and naturally, as you'd suspect, the edge is a bit broken up and obviously a bit thicker. I think it's going to get denser and denser the deeper you go into the thread.
Okay, we should probably just observe it from a distance first. Hutton, do you fancy sending your probes out to just have a bit of a closer look before we go closer?
Yeah, could do. I'm going to need somebody with decent contact. Remember, we got to hook them into the mainframe.
I have a whopping 4 contact.
I'm not too bad. I have seven ability of contact. Should be
Yeah,
some help as well.
Yeah,
I
basically
have 6.
they need to be wired into the console so that we can get the data back, rather than just looking at it on a holotab.
Okay, well, we know we were coming out. Could we not have done that in advance?
I don't think I'm going to make you make a roll for that. That's pretty standard procedure. I think that's just syncing them into the systems on the Dipper. That's absolutely fine.
Have you ever tried to connect like Bluetooth stuff? It's a pain in the ass.
Don't
You
give him
realise
any
what do
more
you mean
ammo.
you can't find the pups? They're right here.
These are Bluetooth, and I've never tried
Yeah,
to link them
these
to
are
my
Bluetooth and
laptop.
Yeah, especially like there's a LaSalle pups trying to connect into a EPP system now.
yeah, like the blue light's flashing. That means they're open to connecting. I don't get it.
So
Well, I can
if
hang on. Okay, all right. I'm going to make you make a roll for all that.
Oh,
You've convinced me, Ali. Thanks.
Well,
Right?
can anyone help with this?
Yeah, can
Yes.
I help
You
having
can get a dice of help. Yep.
forced this roll? Or help?
Okay, I get 1 success.
That's enough. The little blue light flickers on, and then it goes to the relevant color to say it's connected. That's fine.
There you go. See, works.
okay. Chuck those in the airlock, and then we'll send them out. And off they go.
I assume you are on the surface at the moment rather than under the water.
Yes.
Yeah. So you do have like doors at the front you can just open, although they're not airlocks. But you don't have to use the airlock when you're out when you're not submerged.
But don't do it underwater.
You
That's
do,
bad.
you do want to use them when there's a big swell on 40-foot waves, though.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up getting a very wet compartment and turn into a submarine.
That's fair enough. That's fine. I wouldn't want that to happen too early in the scenario, now, would we? Got to keep this going for at least another hour yet. Right.
I need another beer.
Okay, you can send them out. So I think that's an observation roll for whoever is controlling them, please.
It's probably me, isn't it?
You're the pilot.
Yeah, and they're yours.
Well, has anybody got a good or better observation than 5?
I have 8.
Because I'm obviously trying to steer the thing at the same time.
I'm 7. Who has 8?
I have 8.
So
are you leaving?
It's my job to observe things.
Are you leaving them above the surface, or they just stay out? Are you going under into the seaweed or underwater?
Well, I think we'd start by looking at
float
the
along the top,
surface,
and
then at some point, I guess we'd come back to the edge and go under, just to, again, not right in the middle of it, but when we first go under the water, we'd want to go under a little way away.
Yeah,
from the
Yeah.
get an idea
Okay.
of depth and whatnot.
Okay, cool. Make an observation roll then for your first pass above the
and
kelp.
can anyone help with this?
I think you can get 1 dice of help again if there's somebody there to help.
Yeah, sure.
Observation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can help
Yeah, I
you
think
observe.
that'll help.
Go for it.
Okay, I get 1 success. Are we happy with that, everyone? Sure, I want to start getting too stressed yet.
No,
So maybe I'll stick
The
with that 1
optional-
success for now.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, it's just a cursory glance to kind of see vaguely what we're dealing with, right?
Okay, with 1 success, you can see from where you are that this thread, as it's been described, is probably 20. Well, it's gone beyond the horizon. The horizon. Thanks to Andy for helping me with the maths to work out what the horizon on a planet this size would be. Because I was actually right. I just had one of my variables was half what it should have been. But I did get the maths right. But I just got the answer wrong. Anyway,
half points for your workings.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, as far as the pups can see, it keeps going. As far as you can tell, the actual surface it's obviously not solid, but it's pretty dense. For 1 success, you can see that there's certain what seems to be little bits of movement within it, quite small, sort of little bits of wriggling all over the place. But with
shrimp type things potentially.
I think if you make another observation roll if you are going to take it in to have a closer look.
Okay, let's try that. Okay, I'm struggling a bit to control this thing, I think. So I think I might have to
Take a point of stress
getting
and
some stress and having another go. Well, that's gone very well. So I've got no successes, but I have panicked.
Wow.
But that's gone really, really well. My panic, however, is only 2. So
Okay,
I just crushed your pups, Paul. So no successes.
on 16 dice, 18 dice.
Yeah, 19 dice. I rolled
19
nine dice with help.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so 19.
Plus the stress. That's good. That's excellent. Yeah. So what do you see? I think it looks closer at some of these wriggling things. It gets quite close. You can't really make out what they are. You can't really get a good position to see them. They're kind of in the water, amongst the seaweed. As that happens, something big comes out of the water, and I think the pups probably bounces off it, or it bounces off the pups. It doesn't damage the pups particularly. I think I'm going to give you -1 on rolls for it until you get it repaired. It's taken a dent, but something, basically something has come out and it's shit you up. This is a real jump moment. Did you roll your panic, Tone?
Yes, I got 2.
Right. Okay. So you deal with it. It's a bit of a jump. You look like a bit of a fool, but yeah. So you don't know what this thing was. You didn't get a good view of it. Just something big suddenly came out of the water and batted into into the pups. You don't know whether it was deliberate, don't know whether it was by a total coincidence, an accident. But by the time the pups has controlled itself and is trying to scan again, the water is calming and there's no sign of whatever was there.
Didn't see anything out the front of the craft while I was trying to keep it in position.
No, too far away, I think.
Okay.
You probably saw a bit of a splash, maybe, but got no sense of actually what was there, what was happening.
I saw some dope UPP making my babies go wrong.
Yeah, on your display now, you've got, where it's got the sort of the status display. It's got a couple of amber lights flashing of damages and problems, but it's still functional.
That's fine.
Okay, let's bring it back then. Shall we? You want to send it under the water? You trust me there? You can take control of it if you want, Hutton.
No, let's have a. Yeah, no, you have got better contact than me. I've got better observation than me. So
You're going to take the pup under the water.
Yeah.
How its rotors protected? Because they might get gummed up with this this weed.
Well, we're not going to go right down into the weed. We're just going to kind of go in off the edge of it and just kind of have a look.
Look from the
edge.
side.
So we're not necessarily going to send it right into the mass of the weed. Certainly not.
What was the propulsion of the pup, Paul? Do you remember? It's some kind of anti-gravity or something, isn't it?
It's it's a limited anti-gravity propulsion to float around.
Right. So
which is obviously the way they just explain how it was flying around in Prometheus or Covenant.
Yeah, just floating.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So it's probably fine to go in some seaweed. Although if it is,
if there are kind of big animals hiding in there,
it might get you.
Do some damage to it.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Take it down by the side rather than take it straight into it. Come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Go down the side and then. Yeah.
Yeah, just have a look in from the side first, just under the surface.
Just as a bit of agricultural advice, sometimes the seaweed is all sort of surrounded by protein that emits, and that can gunk up your stuff as well. So you might actually find some problems before you get into the leafy stuff.
There you go.
Okay, so how far away would you advise we go in then?
It's hard to tell, but probably it wouldn't be dispersing more than, 5 meters, 10 meters.
Okay, so maybe if we go in 10 meters out and have a look, see what we can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, these things can scan for toxins and things like that, so it might be worth seeing if there's anything weird going on with the water.
Kind of depends how well Tony makes his roll, doesn't it? Really. on the precedent so far.
These things can't do anything.
But the only decent roll I've had was the one for like the LaSalle chief scientist on the the colony roll. Okay, let's have a go then.
Dimitri can cope.
Okay, it's mostly better. So I have panicked again, but I have got 2 successes. That's basically 2 ones I rolled on my panic dice. 2 rolls. And my panic is 7 on this occasion.
Okay, your stress level goes up by 1, and the stress level of all friendly PCs.
Thank you.
You very much, Tony.
Everybody on board gets a point of stress.
You're such a shit pilot of these things that we're all stressed out about it.
That's not how it looks. These controls.
Somebody playing a video game over their shoulder.
We're all just there backseat piloting the pups.
Anyway, I did get 2 actual successes on the roll.
So yeah, as the pup comes down, you can see that the thread of kelp gets thicker and thicker the further you go in. It gets to a depth of about 30 meters, 20 or 30 meters. And then as far as you can tell, without going further under it, that looks to be about as deep as the kelp bed actually gets.
We're about 150 meter depth water, right? Did I see that correctly?
It gets, at least 150 through here. Yeah.
Well, the kelp needs the light, so it will not go
Yeah.
that far. Usually.
And your dipper won't go down that far.
Yeah.
Safely.
What is the depth of it?
Well, the safe depth is 50 meters.
Okay.
I think they say that 80 meters is probably okay, but you're right. You're beyond the safety limits of the design after you go beyond 50.
Okay.
So yeah, let's try not to do that.
Probably fine is where I operate. So.
So Dimitri, what you see with this is you can see that the kelp is kind of full of what appear to be eel-like creatures, similar sort of length, maybe 2 foot long. They're all kind of wrapping themselves around the kelp, and there's a lot of them. They're obviously moving about quite a bit. It's quite a lively environment.
That's interesting.
You can also see some other little creatures that look a little bit like octopuses. Octopi.
Oh, there. Like extras from a James Bond film.
Octahedrons.
One of the crap James Bond films from the 80s.
I enjoyed Octopussy. I was very
I
sad
remember it well enough.
when Vijay Amritraj was killed in it. I thought that was very sad. He was killed with a yo-yo as well. A yo-yo with very sharp edges, if you remember. Anyway, yes. So yeah, they're very small. They're about the size. They're no bigger than the size of a hand or a fist, and they're kind of, I think the reason why you panic is one of them suddenly squirts across and attaches itself to the pup, which is what's kind of made you panic. You are getting some red flashes on the pup's readouts for this.
Is that because it's been damaged or because it's detecting?
It's suffering damage. It had with 2 successes. It hadn't detected anything poisonous in the water. The water seems exactly the same as ever else. It wasn't detecting any unusual substances within that short period of time that it was scanning.
Okay, so I'll try and bring the pups up back out of the water. And if I can still control it.
Surface, emergency surface.
Yeah, it comes out. Are you bringing it back to the dipper?
Well, not. I can bring it back towards the dipper. I'm not going to bring it in if we think there's still this thing's hanging on to the outside of it.
Okay, as the pups comes towards you, you can see that there isn't something on it anymore. But obviously, when this happened, you obviously gave a "shit" shriek, which basically scared everybody.
What did you see? What did you see?
An octopus.
Some sort of octopus thing. Went for the pups.
But yeah, it looks like the outer shell of the pups looks like it's been scratched and scraped and maybe even kind of like eaten through a little bit. But it's working. But it's obviously taken a bit of damage for its 2 excursions with you at the helm.
Well, that wasn't my fault about some octopus thing attacking it. Surely you can't blame me for that.
Interesting. There's another plant-animal hybrid here, another symbiosis.
Yeah, symbiotic relationship. Yes.
Yeah, it's just like those flowers and those shrimp.
Did you get a good idea? I'm assuming it was majority plant life. With
yes, obviously the kelp field, whatever you want to call it, is immense. There's quite a lot of these things in there that you could tell, but this kelp island is huge.
Yeah.
So if we get closer and to harvest some of this stuff, will they attack us?
Well, should we bring the pups in and have a look at it just to see what the damage is, and if we can work out what's caused the damage? If it's
Should we just if we bring it in, run it through a quick decom cycle first, just in case anything's in it?
Definitely.
I think they've mentioned
little burrowing creatures that jump out of it.
They've mentioned there might have been legs eaten through a little bit, which if there's corrosion going on with these creatures, we might not want to get a watercraft too close to them. As holes in watercraft tend to go pretty badly, I think.
especially if you're trying to dive.
Yeah, or
Yes.
not. Well, or not dive. Depending on where the holes are. There could be some unintentional diving going on, which could be bad.
Okay, so I'm going to try and fly it back into the airlock.
Yeah, you can manage that. I won't make you make a roll for that. You can get it through. It doesn't look like it's contaminated with anything. You can do a little cycle with that. If you want to have a look at it, so it's got a lot of scratches on the outside, as if something sharp had been scraped on it or was trying to dig into it. It does look a little bit like it's rusted almost. A little bit of corrosion on it, but otherwise it's in perfectly good working order. But it's a bit damaged.
So you said our craft has some harvesting attachments.
We've got a harvesting rig. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What sort of range does that have on it?
There's only a few meters, isn't it? We have to get really close with that, I believe.
Yeah, it's like if you imagine the kind of like a harvesting, like a combine harvester with a rig on the front of that.
Right, okay. Yeah.
It's not huge. Yeah. It's not like it's remotely from 50 meters away.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put my pencil
this octopus-like creature attached to the pups from when we were keeping them about 10 meters away.
Yeah.
So I think you'd got a bit closer than that to see what was going on, and it'd come out of it obviously got attracted to it and came out.
Just need to seem less attractive than a thingy.
While they're looking at the pup, can I just check the craft? I want to look at the weather report. Is the weather changing at all?
No, the weather report has remained the same. Expect heavy swells, winds, but no storm.
Dimitri, what would have caused this oxidization here on this pup?
Well, I don't really know. Can I have an observation roll to have a look and see if I can tell what might have caused this?
Is it acid? Is it
I think you
something
can do that. Yep. Make an observation roll, Dimitri. And also, Hutton, make an observation roll as well, but just hold on for a moment once you've made it.
Incoming panic. No, it doesn't say you actually have.
Yeah. So no successes and panic. So this is going really well. I think somebody else should start rolling some dice in a minute instead of me. I roll. So panic. My panic is 3, so I think I'm all right. But I did fail the roll, so I don't. Oscar, I don't really know. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything quite like that. I mean, it looks kind of a bit like rust, but that obviously would normally take ages.
It feels like you might need a laboratory to study it properly. Yeah.
It's just I'm wondering whether the dipper itself is going to be the same, basically.
I guess it depends. This octopus thing might have gone for the pups because it thought it was something it might want to eat. Whereas the dipper is obviously going to be quite a bit bigger. It might not see it as a potential prey.
Hopefully.
I guess the risk comes of if they're basically parasitic and they see us as a big bit of prey for lots of them.
Yeah.
And we can have calamari for dinner.
Or we can be dinner for calamari.
Well,
if they do just latch on and use some kind of chemical to just eat part of a creature and then leave again.
Well, these tractors were built by the UPP. They don't fall to bits very swiftly. They are built for harsh environments. But yeah, it is a risk. Of course it is.
Hey.
Paul,
Can I have a look at that pup?
Do you want to have a look at
Dimitri?
the pup? Do you?
Yeah, the corrosion on that pup. Dimitri?
Yes, be my guest, Inspector.
I just,
Don't
call me Inspector.
It's just Comrade Shoe today. It's not Inspector.
I'm just Comrade Hugh today. Thank you for putting the words into my mouth. But I'll just explain to you, Dave, what I'm doing. I'm using my investigator talent to have a look at this evidence. And you have to answer me truthfully.
But you're off duty. Are you allowed to use it?
Yes, I am. And I get 2 successes including 1/6 off my stress dice. Thank you very much for that, Tony. And so the question I will ask is, are there any details here that are out of place, something that is out of the ordinary? And you must answer truthfully, but you are allowed to be as vague or incomplete information. You're allowed to give vague or incomplete information.
How many successes did you get? 2.
I got 2 successes.
So you can ask 2 questions.
Oh, for each success, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So what are you actually asking for your first question?
So my first one is, are there any details here that are out of place, something that is out of the ordinary?
Inside the dipper?
No, and I'm looking specifically at the pup. I'm no scientist, but there may be something that I can spot with my common sense eyes.
Okay.
Dimitri's not looking for.
Other than other than it does look a little corroded. It looks, as I said before, it looks scratched, as if something was trying to scratch its way through the surface. But otherwise, no, I don't think there is anything particularly out of place. The way it's been described is the way it looks.
Okay, then I'll ask my other question, which may be a waste. Is there anything hidden here?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. It's good use of the thing, though. So how often can you use that talent? Is that just...
every
once a turn, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it takes a turn. So you've been mulling this thing for a turn. Okay, cool. Hutton, did you make the observation roll?
I did. Do you want to know how many I got?
Yeah.
I got 4 successes.
Whoa!
Okay.
With 3 dice. Well done.
6 dice.
Okay. Well, that's quite good. So, what do you notice? So, whilst you're there, you're on the radio getting the latest weather report dialed in through the UPP's automated weather service, and you spot something. You spot something out in the middle of the kelp, probably 1,000 meters away. You get a reflection of light coming off what looks like a window or the side of something. With 4 successes, you can see that it's a dipper, another dipper. It doesn't appear to have any running lights going. It doesn't appear to have any power at all. With 4 successes, you can see that it's also listing and is riding very low in the water. And it's about 1,000 meters away.
I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu here.
Another broken dipper.
In that case, I'll get on the comms and hail the dipper.
There's no response.
It's not surprising. I make my colleagues aware of this observation and suggest we send the pups out again.
It's on the far side of the kelp, was it?
It's about 1,000 meters away. Yeah.
It's in the middle of the kelp. I'm not sure we want to drive there at the minute.
Yeah. Are we aware of any...
Can our dipper actually fly?
No.
No. Okay.
Are we aware of any recent outings by dippers that should have been back, or are we aware of anyone that had been out to the north in the dipper that could have been in this? Is there any
dippers that gone missing?
Not that you're aware of. Make a group observation roll.
That's
Who's the most observant of us?
Unfortunately, I think that's Dimitri.
Well, that is me, but my rolls have not been going that well so far.
Do you want? I can observe stuff. 1 less dice than you. Who's going to give me a dice?
I will give you a dice.
I can give you a dice. That's less risky than rolling it myself.
7, 8, 9. One more dice from anybody?
Yeah, I
Can
can.
give you one as well if you like.
Yeah, I mean,
Can you have a dice from my 4?
No. This is a memory thing rather than observing something.
Well, I've got 5. Screw you, Hutton. And your filthy capitalist ways. You need the clear sight of the communist propaganda. Communist manifesto to spot this. Whatever it is. 5 dice.
You all have a very clear memory because you specifically were informed and actually checked that there were no other dippers assigned to this area. Well, at all. So
and I'm not aware of anything having gone missing with my 5 dice of memory.
Of knowing.
No, nothing reported missing. But you're absolutely clear that you are the only group with an assignment in this area.
Right. Do these things have transponders or anything like that?
They would normally have a locator. This thing is completely dead. There's no message coming from it. There's no transponder coming from it.
Number plate.
Not that you can see from 1,000 meters.
I lean down between the two of you and Alexander, actually. Yeah, I just whisper for only your hearing.
For only who's
United
hearing?
Americas.
So I didn't hear what you said after all that.
Me neither.
United Americas.
United Americas. You think?
But it looks like one
enemy.
of ours.
Yeah, does it look basically
It
identical?
looks
to
like a
ours?
dipper, 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 meters away. Can we tell whether it's
1,000
one of us?
1,000 kilometers.
We
like
can
background
account for
of
all
behind
our
us.
dippers. We can't account for that one. Therefore,
You
that's
are
not one of ours.
They're
I
not
think
here, are they?
with Hutton's 4 successes, you think it looks like a. Well, if it's not a UPP dipper from Solovetski, it looks very much like one.
I mean, the
Well,
pups
we don't know.
pups can fly, right? So they can go above the
Yeah.
kelp over to it. So why don't we just do that?
I think we should send the pups out first. Yeah, this is very.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we don't. There's a good chance that it's in trouble because it's in the kelp field. So we're not going to drive to it because then we might be it, and that would be terrible.
The same trouble.
Yeah.
Another thought,
is it-
crazy, far out thought there that occurs to me, just speculating, is maybe it's not another dipper. Maybe it's there's some creature out there that can mimic things to draw in prey.
That
Yeah.
would be a
It's-
crazy thought.
it is a
but
crazy
You are a
speculation.
scientist.
You are.
Crazy scientist.
Who are we to doubt you?
Who are we to tell you?
You are. You know, one
Well,
of the finest.
I'm not saying that's what it is. It's just
No,
like a crazy thing
I am
that I'm just putting out there to bear in mind.
fully accepting that as a scientific theory for
But
one
I
of the
think we should
UPP's
send-
finest.
We should send Hutton
Chuck
in
the
a
pup out
suit.
again.
Yeah. Let's get them to swim out there and have a look.
Is it worth? I'm assuming.
Now, given he's our only pilot, let's not.
I'm assuming we have communication with the colony possible as well.
Yeah.
Is it worth?
It's probably worth
informing
calling
them
back.
and just double checking that Drew isn't wrong.
Yeah, I think that's
Just,
definitely worth doing.
we could ask.
Oscar, do you want to call back to?
Can
also
I
just
before
let them know,
anything else? Paul, rather than saying bog off on the channel, can you can you make a piloting roll, please, to maintain the position of the dipper? Because I say the water, the swells here are quite aggressive, and it's not standard.
Andy was suggesting that Hutton swim out to find out what's wrong with it. So I think bog off is the least I could say.
It's the
He's
polite
only
answer.
writing what we're all thinking.
Fair enough. I'm obviously not keeping up.
Bloody commies. Piloting, 1 success.
Yeah, okay. It's you're managing to hold position. It's not easy. It's a bit of a struggle, but yep, you're doing okay.
Send
Okay,
out the
so-
drones.
Okay, Tone, do you want to make an observation roll if you are doing the?
So, what's this observation roll
So look at this thing.
for? So, is this to get the puppet out there and to
Yeah,
look at it, or is it going to be?
The pup basically flies itself.
Okay.
This is about you interpreting the data that it's giving you and directing it to look in the right places.
And the key thing is it can detect life forms.
Comrade, I can see you're a bit shaken. Do you want me to sit in front of the screen and do it?
Well, I'm just thinking I have some talents that are going to be of use. I'm just kind of considering which one to use.
What's your stress at the moment, Tone?
Two.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, a bit early for nap relief.
Cup of tea.
He is rolling ones on every single.
I have so far. Yes.
Stress dice he's got.
Hutton looks across at Dimitri and says, "Do you want one of these? Do you want this?" And offers the nap relief.
No, I'm fine for the moment.
You roll another one, pal, and I offered you.
I think I'm going to go with the analysis talent.
Okay, remind me what that.
Which means you can roll for observation to gain insight regarding strange and alien artifacts or creatures that you encounter, and get a chance to study for at least one turn. I'm going to get a chance to study this turn. Or was that not apply?
I don't think I'm going to let you do that through a pup. I think that's
Okay.
if you have it in front of you and you do some scientific analysis on it.
Okay, that's fine. In that case,
Sorry.
I also have the breakthrough talent, which means I can automatically pass an observation roll without needing to make the roll. Although it says, in order to avoid spoiling the scenario, the GM has the final say on whether or not the talent can be used.
There's an awful lot of things here where it says the GM must tell you a thing, except they didn't tell you the thing.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the one thing I would say is that Dimitri has already successfully used the pups to do some pretty intensive analysis. So I would say that particular talent, you might say that because you've already done a proper obs roll, you might just be able to go, oh yeah, well this one's even easier because all I've got to do is fly it out there and hover over the top.
I'm going to let him use breakthrough, but analysis I think analysis is Ash on the ship looking at the dead facehugger.
Yeah.
It's not looking at it through a camera.
I think that's fair. So I will use breakthrough though. That's once per session. Thingy.
Okay.
So I'm flying out there and I'm just going to as close a look. I'm going to not get too low, probably going to stay maybe 10 meters high because obviously there's something jumped out at the pups last time, but the pup simply has, is able to zoom in a bit.
It's got an extreme range, so you can be about 50 meters above it, I think.
And you're going to survey the dipper with this, yeah?
Yes. Just to have as close a look as we can at it.
Yeah. Paul, you say that these things can detect life?
Yep, they can also detect life forms, atmospheric conditions, toxins, and more, whatever "and more" means. Probably means whatever the GM says.
Oh, doesn't say.
Okay. You fly out to it. The pups is confirming that the dipper looks dead. There's no power coming from it at all. There's no energy source coming from it whatsoever. The airlock at the back is open. The side doors, one of the side doors is open. Some of it's storage. There's some storage boxes actually in the water. It does detect what appear to be lots of small burn marks on the external of the hip of the dipper. The front two cockpit doors are both open. It can detect what look like splatters of blood in the cockpit of the dipper, and it is detecting very weakly a nearby life sign, but you can't see it.
one live sign?
Well, I
Or
think it's
could it not?
detecting. It's detecting what? It's definitely picking up a human life sign.
It would be a very advanced creature if it was a trap.
This doesn't look like some creature that's laying a trap. Although I love that idea, Tone. I might use it in a future scenario.
But there are creatures that at least make like their schools and stuff look like bigger creatures. This
isn't one of those, but
No.
we will be meeting one of those.
Yeah.
at some point. This is we now know.
He's gonna just keep throwing weird stuff at us, and then we're gonna keep suspecting it's that, and then in like 5 sessions time, it actually will be. As we're at the peak of paranoia.
Yeah, we'll open a packing crate, and that'll be it, like some modern version of the mimic.
Yeah, something that we don't expect it to be at all.
What are you
So
doing,
what are we
guys?
going to do? Are we going to try and rescue this life sign or find this life sign?
If we think there's a, so is this life sign, is it coming from within the dipper? Do we think? Can we tell?
It's you can't see anybody inside the dipper with the pups, and if you want, the pups can actually fly into the dipper.
Okay, want to fly the pups into the dipper? Let's do that.
There's no person inside the dipper.
What?
I'm assuming for a life sign, like, it can't be a dead person.
Is it in
It
one of
can't
the
be
cupboards? A dead person. I think that's
Yeah.
it.
Like,
Well, no, that's probably not a life sign, is it?
no.
If they're dead.
It's a dead
Well,
sign.
is it picking up like vital signs, or is it picking up like the organic material that is a person?
I think it's not that advanced. It's probably picking up an active heat source, I guess.
Okay.
Something similar to that.
Yeah, it says life form, so I suspect organic material of some description, but that's about it. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. What I thought. So, can we just recap on what you said earlier? You said that from above we detected a human-y life source. Is that correct?
Somewhere in this vicinity, yeah.
Somewhere in the vicinity.
Somewhere close by to the dipper. This isn't Star Trek. I mean, you know.
No. I'm just trying to get it right in my head. So there's something. There is a body around it, but not in it.
There is something that is consistent with a human life sign around this area, very close to the dipper, but there is no obvious body inside the dipper or person inside the dipper.
Do you have 2 pups, right? Could we potentially use more than one to increase the accuracy, the sort of triangulation with 2, if that works? Not really.
No.
Okay. Nice clear answer.
I don't think they. I mean, really, these things are surveying. They're for surveying, so they generally get sent out to work out how the shape of the land and if there's anything worth digging up and things like that. So they're not advanced sensors.
Now, if there's one of us, our guys, in distress there, of course, that should take precedence. However, I just feel that we have a lot of risk there to all of us if we try to go after this. And our primary mission is to retrieve or to assess the agricultural potential here.
Have we contacted the colony yet?
Pass it up the chain, yeah.
And just said, hey, we're pretty sure you told us that there shouldn't be anyone else out here, but is there, like, can someone, I'm assuming we have records of how many dippers we have. Is there anyone that could just quickly go and check that all -1 are there?
Yeah, that's definitely worth doing.
And yeah, just because
yeah, you can contact the control back at Solovetski Island. The control officer is obviously a bit stressed and grumpy, and is like, well, okay, I can go and check the manifests, but I mean, it's not going to be quick. I mean, I've got a lot of work to do here. I mean, if it's a problem, why don't you just go and check it?
I mean,
because it's dangerous, you idiot. You go and check.
It's dangerous. I mean, that's a dangerous part of the job. What are you, LaSalle? Or UPP?
Yes, I am LaSalle.
A good UPP man would be out there like a shot to rescue another comrade. No, not.
Well, there's
not
4 of them
hiding.
here that don't want to do that. So you take it up with them.
I'll do
No,
what I
don't
can.
include me in that.
I'll do what I can to check these records, but it's not going to be quick. I've got other stuff to do. I would suggest cautiously, if you want, just go and check it. But up to you.
Good call. Call us back. Bye. Is it possible that this could come from one of the other islands where we've got?
Are there other
outposts or-
colonies on this planet?
We've got scientific outposts. We said, are they permanently kind of staffed?
Yes, the ones that are out there are permanently staffed. They will have 1 dipper each.
So it could come from. one
It
of
could,
those.
in theory.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. If there's somebody out there in trouble, we should go and try and help them. Should we not?
Let's go. We believe in the protection of the people.
Oh, sorry.
I
Sue
wonder
was
where that
talking.
noise came from for a minute.
Sue was talking again.
So, head
What
of, can we treat the people's property carefully? I take on board everything that our LaSalle colleague says about the danger of taking this dipper into the middle of that. So can we map a route that's the least dense weed route between here and that other dipper?
How would you tend to judge that? It all looks pretty consistent ahead of you.
Dimitri here has been collecting data off these pups for a number of turns. Now I'm thinking he should be analysing some of that data. If only he had a sort of talent for that sort of thing.
Indeed. Just a little idea. I mean, this kelp belt doesn't go as far down, right? Would it make sense to go underneath it and then pop up, so we wouldn't have to cross as much of the kelp stuff?
Yeah, but then we do the octopuses, the tiger worms, the wasp.
Well, we do that
sharks,
going through it.
tiger worms, and all the things I can invent.
I think that's not a bad idea, because if we go
under
across it, we've got 1,000 meters to get across. If we go down and up, we've got 30 meters to get through. So I quite like that idea, actually.
I was thinking, what is the propulsion method for the dippers?
It's magic.
Magic.
We'll be fine then. I don't see the problem. Right, let's go.
Big caterpillar tracks.
In some form or another, it's mechanical.
So is it a propeller that kelp will go in and break? Is my main question, I guess.
Yeah.
It's probably
Because
a
if
tunnel
then going through the kelp, bad idea.
with a worm in it.
I think you would be concerned that it might be quite hard to navigate through the kelp without damaging the dipper, but you don't think it's impossible.
It's my best skill, repairing dippers.
Or we could conceivably go under the point where we think it is, and rather take the dipper up. A couple of us in.
Hutton can go up.
A couple of us in suits. Yeah, you've got that protective suit that works really well, haven't you?
Oh yeah. It worked really well last time.
Look, I've admitted that I should have given you that armor on that. It's fine. I accept I made a mistake, so
They
shut up,
started
Paul.
it. They started it. Wasn't me.
We cannot risk our LaSalle colleague Hutton here, because he is the best pilot amongst us if we were to get home. I will take Hutton's suit and go through the thing.
A hero of the people.
So are you diving and then?
But I mean, if these
We're going under.
small octopuses are in fact corrosive in some way, it's like a suit is more likely to get you drowned than a boat.
Right, well, whatever. Let's go under now.
Yeah.
Can we, as we're going under, can we keep the pup tracking our position above so that we can see what we're traveling under?
Yes, I think you can.
Good
Do you want me
idea.
to make a piloting roll?
Just before we go under, should we just send a message to the base explaining what we're trying to do, and so they can search our souls?
So they can come and salvage our bodies afterwards.
Yeah.
Give us a decent burial. Yeah.
Don't
Yes,
talk to that
good idea.
idiot we just spoke to as well.
The ops officers have a the reputation of being grumpy and unhelpful.
Hutton mutters under his breath, like most people in the UPP.
They're not all UPP though. Actually,
Yeah, they're all UPP.
you do have some Nacelle ops officers. Anyway, yes. Okay. Can I have a piloting roll then, please? If you are going to be going down underneath.
2 successes.
Okay.
Not
Cool.
bad.
Yeah, that's good. So you definitely feel as you go down and you go further and further under, you can see that the currents are stronger and stronger near the middle, and you are feeling ever greater effect on the dipper to be pulled further up to the northwest.
Can I? Sorry, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, you can see that as you're getting closer and closer to the sort of the center of what you think is the center of the of this, the thing is maintaining its shape. It's not falling apart, but you can see that there are sort of tendrils of seaweed coming down and being sort of obviously dragged in the direction of the current.
Can I turn the dipper so it's facing towards the current? So rather than being side on, we're actually sort of, if you will, facing downstream, upstream, and then sliding, slide upstream, and then sliding across.
You can
Might be a bit
absolutely
easier
do
to
that,
control.
Slipstreaming.
Yes, absolutely, you can do that. Tony, do you want to make an observation roll for the pups?
Okay, so I did get a success. But on my 2 stress dice, I've got 2 1s.
Okay. So roll twice and take the worst stress result.
The worst stress result is 8.
You start to tremble uncontrollably, Tane. All rolls using agility suffer -2. Now, the reason...
What have you seen?
As you're approaching, you're probably getting within a couple of hundred meters of the stranded dipper, and the pups is obviously scanning the area around. And about probably 200 meters on the other side, maybe slightly further, it sees something. You can see like what appears to be a big ring of sort of bubbles appearing on the surface, and then the water begins to rise up, and out from the water comes one of these sandworms, seaworm things. Its mouth agape, engulfing a huge load of seaweed, and it goes up and it rolls over and splashes it back into the water. And you caught all of that kind of live off the feed from the dipper, which
That'll
is
make some great footage.
So is that kind of pretty close to where we are underneath
That's about
in the dipper?
about 300 meters from your current position, and it's about 200 meters from the position of the stranded dipper.
So there's actually a hole now in the kelp.
Tone, you gain
Yeah.
a point of stress for seeing that.
Probably 3 panics next time then.
Hutton seeing Dimitri's dilemma, dips his hand in his pocket and pulls out that little packet again and says, "Now do you want this?"
Maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should. Go on then.
So he hands
what's
across the napper leaf.
What's the downside of napper leaf?
Oh,
Doesn't
that
Take
doesn't matter.
more, you start losing stats, I believe.
It reduces stress to 0. It's an injectable instant pain reliever for all strains, stresses, irritations. self-inflicted. Oh god!
No, so if you take another one, you get -1 to your agility. So you're okay for the first
Yeah.
one, but if you take a second one, it affects your agility.
Okay, I'm taking one.
I've only got one.
Yeah.
I'm taking it. Then. Thanks, Harm.
It's
Okay.
yours.
As
that clear-
Oscar pointed out, we now have a location where there isn't much kelp in the way,
Indeed, there's a hole.
and also where I imagine the sea worm won't be taking a mouthful of kelp and dragging us in with it.
There is although that position is still 200 meters away from the other dipper that we're trying to get towards. Before we go on quickly, does that clear my agility penalty from my last panic?
No, I don't think it does. I think
No,
it's
it just
Trembling.
relieves. It just knocks your stress down to 0.
Fine.
It certainly doesn't state that it does.
No, okay, then that's assumed not.
It's an interesting point, though. If you're taking something that's chilling you out, then maybe it should chill out your panic as well.
I think so.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
it's perfectly reasonable,
I'm going to rule that. Yeah, Tony, it does
Okay.
take away the panic, I think. Yeah,
particularly for the shakes.
yeah, because basically you've taken a drug that's making you go, "Hey, cool, this is fine."
Hey, look, the big worm. Big worm just over there.
So this worm was about 10 meters across in diameter, as big as the ones that you saw before.
But the hole it's made in the kelp is 200 meters away, roughly, from where we actually want to be.
Yeah, and you suspect that probably by the time you get there, much of the kelp might have started to come back together. It's unlikely to. If you're quick, there might be a gap there you could exploit if you wanted to make a run for it.
We need to get further on anyway, right?
I'd like to make a run for it, but not towards the hole in the kelp.
Okay, go towards the vessel. Stick to the original plan.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Paul, can you make a piloting roll to maneuver to the right spot, but it's at -1 because of the strength of the current? It would have been -2, but your clever idea to turn the dipper into the wave, as it were, is giving you that bonus back.
Okay. And I get no successes. I'm pushing it.
Take a stress.
And I get 4 successes.
4.
Bloody hell.
It's either nothing or all 6s. It's like,
Yeah.
I wish my die rolling was as good as that. Right. Okay.
Mine was.
Yeah. So you are getting yourself into a good position here. You found yourself a really good spot, a few meters, however many meters below the bottom of the kelp you want it to be, and you're holding that position really well against the current. You kind of found the sweet spot in the current, and you're really just kind of riding the current now.
Can I get the harvester ready as well?
Yeah,
Yep.
while we're here, we might as well do what we came here to do, right?
Yes.
It's a good idea.
As you're getting in position, you see a compression suit, or probably a person in a compression suit, tangled in the seaweed right at the bottom, just in fact directly above you.
Underneath he was
Underneath
underneath
seaweed.
but also underneath the dipper.
Yes.
I suggest he was trying to clear a blockage and got
But you
tangled.
think at the moment you're about 40 meters down and you're 10 meters below the bottom of the kelp.
Okay, Oscar, if I get us up, would you be able to grab him with the arm?
I can try. Yeah, should be. I'll try to grab some of the kelp at the same time and some eels and.
Okay, this
Yeah, much as I want to get these the samples, and we should do that. Let's concentrate on trying to
Save a man first.
rescue the comrade
Save the
first.
man first. Men first. Yeah, fair enough.
This-
But
this-
yeah.
On the bright
This
side, when you
figure-
grab him, you might rip some stuff off with him.
This
Yeah,
figure isn't moving at all.
We'll have
But
plenty
there
of
was
time.
life signs, so we need to get him out of there quickly.
We'll have plenty of time to get the samples if we save him. So let's save him first.
It's not moving. When you say it's not moving, Dave,
Yeah.
it's not moving at all. Given that we are in a current, it's not moving relative to us, but it is moving with the current, or is it?
Yeah, it's
Actually-
moving with the. It's kind of tangled in the seaweed at the bottom.
Yeah,
But in of itself, there's no motion whatsoever from
yeah. And it's not waving
from
its
the
arms
sea.
about.
No,
No.
but it's kind of trapped in the bottom of
Yeah.
the seaweed.
But it could be somebody playing possum, so not to attract the other little things that are floating around.
Or it could be someone who's unconscious but not yet dead.
Let us not discuss it.
Let's
Let
just
us
get him.
cut
Yes.
the blooming thing out of there.
You can
Yes.
ask him if we save him.
What's the plan then, guys?
Go grab.
I'm going to go up with the ship and get within grabber reach, so Oscar can try and grab him. And then once Oscar's got him, I'm just coming straight back out.
We're
What
trying
is the
to
roll
stay
to grab
underneath,
him?
right? We're not going into the kelp if we can avoid it. We're trying to stay underneath, right?
Well,
Yes.
we can't because we've got to go into the kelp because your robot arm's not long enough, is it?
I don't know. But anyway,
unless
we want to minimize.
you invert like that and go up, kind of like a rocket, you will have to go into the kelp a little bit to get the arm into a position to grab it.
Well, if we all strap into our seats, can we do that?
Yes. I don't mind being upside down for a bit or on my back.
Yeah, I think you can do that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a slightly more involved piloting role.
Yeah, I thought you might say that.
What is the role going to be to use the arm to grab him?
That's going to be heavy machinery.
And how good are you to...
I'm reasonably.
pretty
I've
good.
got 8 of those.
Okay, I also have 8. Is there any way I can help? Or is it just...
You can give him a dice of help. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll help out with that.
Okay, first
Anyone
things
else
first.
Anyone else got piloting skill, by the way?
No.
No.
No,
Not yet.
You're on your own. with
you're
that
on
one.
your own for that one, sorry.
Yeah, it's the only reason we brought you, Hutton. So
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
James or Mr. Hutton. It's just Hutton.
Hutton.
Yeah,
Hutton
why
the
not?
pilot.
Hutton the
Okay,
pilot.
Paul, it's
Yes.
minus 2 dice for this.
Yes, me
maneuver.
lady.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's lucky it's not just a driver. So
-2.
Minus 2. It's
Can I
minus
take them
1.
off me stress dice?
If you go for a swim, that is relaxing, apparently.
What do you think, Paul?
I
Yeah.
think I got 2 successes.
Okay. So you managed to invert it. You managed, with the extra current hitting the bottom of the dipper, you managed to control that, and you get the grabbing arms in a position where you can try and grab this prone figure.
while this is going, no, actually probably not because we're strapped in, aren't we? So
It does roll.
forget that.
Because it's only the second roll of the evening for me. So let's see. I have 2 successes and no panic.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good grip. You've grabbed him. I think with 2 successes, you've probably done it without doing. You might have damaged the suit a little bit because these things aren't gentle. They're not designed to grab people gently. But I think with that, you've managed it. You've got him in the.
Bring him close. And if we still can do it before we go straight down, maybe just deploy the harvest and scrape a little bit of the stuff. Maybe Ali can do that because he's on the other controls.
I'll have a
Yeah,
second heavy machinery roll for that.
Yeah, I can help you with that one. With 1 die, possibly.
Yeah, I think you can do that. No, actually, Oscar, you are holding on the controls to keep this figure.
yeah, that makes sense. That's 3 successes, no panic.
Okay, yeah, you get a nice big scoop. In that scoop, there's, you get a great big handful of it, or grabber full of it. You can see there's some scroning eel-like creatures in it and other bits and bobs, so you've got a good sample.
Grab and run.
Get us out of here.
Yeah, I'm hitting reverse.
Go down.
Remember, you're upside down.
Down.
Yeah,
Dive.
Okay, yeah. I'm still going to make you make a roll, Paul, at -1, because again, you're still in this current. which is still very difficult to negotiate.
One success.
Okay, it's a bit bumpy, but yes, you managed to pull down and level off 10 meters below. And this guy, this body, this figure is just lying in the current, not moving at all. But your grabber has got him.
Can I without the need to roll any more dice, can I get us out of here and back to the surface?
Can I get you to make a group observation roll?
I'll do that. Two successes, one panic. I get 7 on a panic.
Okay.
I'll take some stress.
Everyone take a point of stress. Matthew, that's a nervous twitch. The reason you see that is as this is a group roll, as the lights are playing across the guy in his suit, you can see the sort of atmosphere monitor and that on his chest. He's clearly got no air at all.
Can the arms?
We need to bring him back on board. We need to know what happened.
Can the arms pull like stuff in?
The airlock?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
We're gonna have to go out and. So are we back level now?
Yes.
Paul. Okay,
How
I'll
quickly
switch
can
up.
we get in a suit? Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Above the water.
It's probably quicker to just get up.
Let's just get out from under here.
Of course, what we don't know for sure is that this is the only person that was there. We did detect one life sign. If this guy's dead, or this person is dead, there may be someone else still up nearer the dipper.
You're right, Dimitri.
The life sign was probably not 30 meters away from the dipper when the pups was reading it.
So
Okay,
there's probably
yes,
somebody
then.
else further up.
Can you? I mean, we've still got the pup going. Can you spot something on the pup now? Hutton, can I borrow your suit? Actually, seriously.
Are you wearing it, Paul?
No, I'm not at the moment.
Stall.
Okay.
The suit is in the locker behind me.
So, Dimitri, you can still get the same reading that you had from the pups before of a potential life sign.
Okay, so I'll report that. So there's somebody else still up there, at least one other person.
Okay, so someone should suit up and check this guy then before we go further. But we shouldn't get to the top.
I'll do it.
I'm going to suit up as well, just in case, because we're going to.
Oscar, can we deposit the body somewhere, and can you give us a ride up on the arm?
I can try. I can stow it. We've got some nets on the outside, but I'm not sure I'm going to manage.
What's your plan, Matthew?
I'm going to have to drive back in there.
Yeah, I think we are. Yes, but I'm just thinking the arm doesn't appear to have been affected by the weed. It's quite strong. This person obviously got entangled in the weed and couldn't get out. I'm thinking it may be easier, rather than swim through 30 meters of weed to rescue whoever's in the dipper, that if the arm can lift us as close as possible to the dipper, we've got less to do.
Just less, maybe. Also, consider that you attach a line to yourself and to us, so we can
So
pull you back up.
the arm isn't going to extend 30 meters.
All the way? No.
It's probably not going to extend even half of it.
Sure. Because Dimitri is on the pups, I'm also going to suit up. If we go out, if Jude's going to do that, I will bring this person in.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can start looking at them and see if they're in fact still alive somehow. So
Yeah.
I'll suit up and go out as well.
Please keep them in the airlock.
Yeah.
Can I suggest, Dimitri, that you stay in and look and investigate this body, and Alexander comes with me, and because you have heavy machinery, Alexander, which may be useful.
Yeah, it might be useful.
It is fair. I'm not the strongest. Yeah.
Is there anything on board that we could take with us that might be able to cut the stuff?
Laser cutters, incinerators, anything like
Do
that.
we have thinking that if we get tangled, we might be able to use to cut a bit away from us, or like cut it away from the rest of it.
There are some tools and stuff. They're not designed for this kind of thing, so you could take them, but you could use them at -2 to hack through if you needed to.
I think that's worth taking as a precaution.
Yeah.
So I'll grab whatever I think would be the most appropriate from, and hand something to you as well.
Okay.
Oscar, while you're doing that, do you want to jump in the co-pilot seat? Because I could do with a bit of help piloting this thing.
But he has to be
if
on
you
the
tell me
arm.
what to do, sure, yeah, I can do that.
Well, I've got 3 stress dice now.
Oh, you want to take some nap leave? Oh, no, hang on.
Oh, crap, I'm over to you.
Okay, so who's doing what? Let's just review.
All right. So you and I are heading out. I'm going to put the probably body in the airlock on our way out, and then we're going up with the arm to hopefully find this life side. I think that's the outside people's job.
And I'm going to, well, as soon as the body's in, I'm going to have a very quick look at it, just to confirm whether or not he's dead, whoever it is.
Right.
But obviously then if we're going to...
And a more advanced look to work out how we could get out of the trap that we will find ourselves in when...
Yeah, be ready for that.
That would
Well,
be
although
good.
if we're going to be going up kind of vertically, we're going to be... I'm not going to be able to study the body while that's happening, am I?
You don't want to strap in.
Well, just treat the wall as the floor. It'll be fine.
Well, that's true. Yeah, we'll do that in the airlock. That's a fair point.
Okay.
I have suited up though, brother, just in case of any incidents.
Okay.
Yeah, I would, like, if you can do your current, like your job in this role suited up, it might be worth doing that.
Okay, but Shu and Ivanov, you're both going out.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm putting an unlit cigarette in my mouth before putting my helmet
That's
on.
a terrible idea, but okay.
It's a thing I do. I've always got a cigarette in my mouth.
Is it one of these self-lighting cigarettes? That
It
lights-
does not self-light, no.
It's a good picture, that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you can both get in the airlock. Cycle the airlock. The airlock door opens. Okay. Yeah, you can go and try and grab the body.
Is there like, can we immediately attach ourselves to the dipper in some way? Is there?
I think there are ropes that you can
'Cause
use, and yeah, I think that's fine.
There's still a current going on, right? So we should probably make sure
We're
we.
still
Yeah, you
pretty
don't get
fierce.
washed away by the
Before we do anything, we should attach ourselves with ropes and then go and grab the body.
Are you both going to get the figure?
I guess so.
I think it's smart to stick together, yeah, just in case something
Yes.
goes wrong. We can grab each other. We'll help each
No,
other.
no,
hack
I'm
away
just
at
going to
this.
swim up into the weeds while you do
Alright,
that.
yeah, good luck then.
Okay. Can I have a group mobility roll for the person with the I
Lowest
guess it's
mobility.
worst mobility?
What is
Only the
yours?
people outside, right?
Mine is a whole 3 dice.
Mine too. Do you want to make the roll so I can blame you?
So you get.
Sure.
Okay, guys, you get +1 for the other person helping, and you get +1 for your ropes.
And it probably won't matter, but the exosuit's actually got built-in thrusters.
Oh, so
But
does
you
it have a
want to
gear
do it then.
bonus?
Yeah.
Well,
Does it have a-
actually, it says it's got its own thrusters for Tether 3 0G manoeuvres. So whether or not they will actually work underwater is another matter.
Want to make a ruling on that?
He's just looking it up, I think.
I am just looking it up. Yeah.
I'm not lying. It's from the rules, honest.
Yeah, no. What's the gear bonus if it is allowed?
It hasn't got a gear bonus.
Oh,
You don't get gear bonuses in this game, Matt.
do you not?
No, you're thinking of other free
All
league
the other
games.
games.
Okay, this suit is specifically designed for space, so your thrusters aren't going to work, but it does have an armor rating of 4 and air supply of 6.
Yeah, that's what I was counting on.
Yeah, which is better than the Mark 50, which everybody else is wearing.
Right, well, I have 2 successes then.
Yeah, okay. I think with that you can sort of lash your way round to the front, get the body, drag that back into the airlock. I think you can do all that.
Yep. And then we'll head to the harvester claw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're dropping him in the airlock, having the airlock cycle so Ivanovsky can look after him.
Yeah, or confirm he's dead. One of the two.
Yeah.
Right.
He might be alive.
He might.
Okay, as the airlock is cycling, then I need another mobility roll for you two if you're going to get back to the front of the boat.
Do you want to do this one?
Right. Okay.
Not the
And
same.
it's 5 in total, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Plus stress, of course.
Yep.
Of course.
I get 2 successes.
Hey, we're so good at
No
swimming.
panic.
Yeah, so you two managed to get yourself round to the front to the sort of the harvesting arms and the grabbers and stuff without a problem. Yeah, you look like
Excellent.
you've been doing this for years. Bear with me one moment. Okay. First dice I get to roll today. Excellent.
Yeah, that was my first roll beyond the season ones.
Okay. Yeah, you're in position. Tony, so as they're doing that, the airlock cycles quite quickly. This body is limp.
Does it have anything attached to it? Like eels or something?
Yeah, make an observation roll, Tony.
And shut the either airlock door while you're at it.
Yeah, I probably will do that anyway. I get 1 success and no panic. Yeah.
So Tony, are you going into the airlock and shutting the airlock behind you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You do see kind of crawling on the sort of bottom half of the suit, one of these sort of 3-tentacled tiny octopus creatures. Doesn't seem to be doing very much. Looks actually quite placid and docile.
Can I have taken a kind of couple of sample boxes in with me in anticipation
Yes,
there might be
I'll let you
something
do
like
that.
this?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and catch this octopus thing in one of these boxes.
Okay, it will try and resist that. So this is going to be a opposed roll. So make a close combat roll to grab it, Tone. And it's
Well done, Tone.
Don't lose a fight to a tiny octopus, please.
No, I think it has advantage.
3
To be
legs.
fair.
Yeah. 2 tentacles.
No, I get no successes and I panic. My panic is 5. But I
okay.
get no successes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you're both kind of fumbling about. It sort of slips off the leg and plops onto the wet surface. You're grabbing for it and are missing it. It's not looking. Oh, maybe it is now. Actually, yeah.
I've just angered it.
I think you might have done.
Oh no.
Now, have you sealed your compression suit, Tone?
No, I think I probably haven't.
Okay, Tone, you are on 1s.
Yay.
It is on 8, so you get to act first. But it looks like it's kind of turning, and it doesn't seem to have an eye or anything. But it's you can tell
Pointing
it's
one
got some.
tentacle up at you and it's going.
It's kind of going.
How big is it?
It's about the size of a hand,
Okay.
maybe
You're
10
fighting a
centimeters
hand.
across or so.
So, not big enough to be a fully grown adult in a fight, you'd hope.
Go on, Tone. What are you doing?
I'm going to, again, make another attempt just to get the box on top of it, just to contain it.
Yeah. Okay. Make a close combat roll.
Come on. Yes, 1 success and no panic.
Okay, it got 1 success as well. So as you get the box over it, it kind of like pops the box out, and you thought you had it, but it hasn't. It's gonna. Okay, Tone, make a 1d6 roll, please.
Oh, dear. It's got a signature attack. Shit. 1.
1. Okay, it leaps up towards you. You've got your helmet on, have you?
On but open, yeah.
Okay, right. It's trying. Yeah, so it's trying to. It's attacking you. It's trying to It's going for your face, Tony.
Take that bet.
You can't take the bet. You can just throw.
So you've got
True.
a Tone. So I think you've got an action if you wish to try and resist this.
I think I probably will. Yes.
Okay.
Is this close combat again?
Yeah.
I don't have
Okay.
any dice of close combat. And I get no successes and I panic.
Okay, it got 2 successes.
And my panic is 7.
7. Tone, your stress level goes up by 1. Tony starts to scream and shout. Those of you who are on the boat can hear this thudding going on in the airlock. Tony, you take this creature has leapt upon your face. It's trying to kind of force its tentacles into your mouth and over your nose.
Don't like this. Octohugger.
So if any damage is inflicted, which it is, you are grappled and you immediately suffer suffocation.
Okay, should have been nicer to the octopus, I think. The moral of the story.
So, Toad, can you make a stamina roll, please?
Yeah, does that include my stress?
No, you don't include your stress. Oh, no, hang on. Wait. Stamina is a skill, isn't it? So, yes,
Yeah.
you should probably include your stress.
Okay, I get 1 success.
Okay, you're struggling to breathe as this thing is desperately trying to stop you breathing, but you're not suffocating yet. On the boat, guys, you can hear this happening. Did you? Okay, Frank, you're on 5s.
Right, you're involving me.
Paul, you're on 6s.
I just say, bloody hell! I better have a look what he's doing in there.
But, hey, Tony, it's your action first, though. You're on 1s, and this thing is on your face, trying to throttle you or suffocate you.
Okay, so am I grappled by it? Do I have to kind of
In effect, yeah.
get it off before I can try
Yeah.
and box it again? Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
I will try and push it off.
Box on your face.
So there's close combat roll. Ooh, shit. Okay.
No successes, but I'm pushing.
Yeah, it got no successes either. So any
Come
any
on.
successes?
2 successes and no panic.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you have managed to get it off. I think you've probably got it in your hands now. So if you wanted, you could kind of hold it there for your next action to put it in a box.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So 5. Was that you, Frank? 5?
Yeah, that's me. I'm just getting out of my seat and look through the airlock little window to see what is he getting up to in there.
You can see Dimitri. He's got this kind of this blackened marks around his face and his nose, and he's holding this little thing about the size of a fist. That's just these tentacles are like flapping about.
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking through a
picture
little
it.
window even now. I can picture it.
Exactly.
Dimitri in a little pink t-shirt.
That could be the next T-shirt. Yeah. Okay, but how long does it take to cycle the airlock?
It'll probably take 3 or 4 rounds.
To cycle, but the airlock. Don't you cycle the airlock? Because it's.
Yeah, it's just closed. It's not a cycle.
Because you said you just.
You
That's
stay in
fair-
a bloody airlock.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, so you can open the airlock door if you want, Frank.
If
Yes.
I want, it's only one little octopus that can't do any harm, so I'm gonna open it and help.
Okay. So your next action, you'll be able to help. Paul,
Yeah.
are you doing anything?
Paul is
yeah,
saying
I'm-
what Ripley said. Surely.
Yeah. I'm-
Yeah,
I'm-
exactly. Quarantine.
Yeah, don't open the airlock. Paul's trying to keep this vessel in its position so these 2 colleagues outside don't get swept away.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
no, I'm driving the boat.
Yeah, that's cool. Tony, your action.
I'm trying to put the sodding octopus in a box.
Yeah, I think you can have a go at that. Yes.
Okay, so I'm probably shouldn't push. We're on 3 stress, but I've only got 1 success, so I am going to push.
Okay. On 1 success, right? Okay.
Okay, I now have 3 successes, but I also have a panic.
Okay.
Roll 1 on
Could
the panic.
be bad, but I rolled a 1 on the panic, so my panic is
Okay.
5.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You kind of you get the box. You slam dunk the little bugger into it, slap the top on, and yeah, you've managed to catch the little
I
creature.
beat the octopus. Yes, come on.
What's that, Dimitri? Oh, what's that?
This little git of an octopus just went for me for no reason.
There's a body on the floor, right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, he wasn't like when we got him in, but it's too late now. Scientist was too busy fighting an octopus.
Are you all right, or have you got any
Well,
scars?
the octopus
on
was
your face?
on the body. I had to get the octopus off first, didn't I, really?
Have you got any sort of sucker marks on your face or anything?
I think I might
There
have.
There are some. They're more like scratch marks rather than sucker marks. You've got lots of little cuts around your nose and your mouth.
Yeah, it's quite sore, actually.
You need to patch it up. Let me get you
Well,
clean.
let's check this guy. Check this guy first. I'm going to take the helmet off the body on the floor and check him.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
make sure there's no more of these beasts around, like in the suit, possibly.
So you can make a Medicurgy roll, Tone. Now, were you on the mission into the cave?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. Okay, you recognise this guy. He was one of the people that you rounded up in the cave.
Oh, really? Okay.
But you make a Medicurgy roll.
1 success, no panic. I'm not going to push.
So you're not going to push.
No, 1 success.
No.
I'll stick with that.
He's unconscious. He's barely alive. He's suffered very seriously from lack of oxygen. So he needs medical attention as soon as possible.
Okay, is there anything we can do for him on the dipper, or do we need to get him back to the...
I think the Dipper will have basic medical supplies. So I think, make another Medicurgy to try and stabilise him. Which, if you fail this, he probably won't make it back to Solovetski alive.
Okay, I'll get 1 success and no panic, but I'm not going to push. 1 success, is that enough to stabilise him?
Yeah, you think if you can head back to Solovetski pretty quickly, within the next, get him back in an hour or two, then he's got a good chance.
Okay.
Okay, back outside, back to the pilot. What are you guys doing?
We're hanging on to the arm,
Yeah,
ready to be lifted into the weeds and closer to the...
The situation is somewhat scarily out of our control at this point.
I better go back to the arm controls then.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul, you're piloting then. Are you pushing the Dipper up into the stuff? Okay.
Yeah. And I was rather hoping that I might get a bit of help from Oscar, but he's
Coming
buggered
forward
off.
again. I'm going forward again, if I can.
So as I've done this before, is it an ordinary roll, or are you going to impose any minuses upon me?
It's routine.
Look at his face. He's got that evil look on his face that says, of course I'm going to put minuses on you.
No, I think I'm going to let you make a straight roll for this one, Paul. I think as you're getting into the kelp, the actual current is less affecting you because the current is affecting the whole thing. So relative to the kelp, you're moving at the same pace. You're less likely to be washed away.
1 success.
Okay, Shu and Ivanov. You're hanging on as you're going into all this kelp. This kelp is obviously hitting you. It's quite dense. It's not pulling you off the arms at all, but you can see from the lights from your helmets and that there are quite a lot of these eel-like things. But as soon as you come near them, they scamper off and sort of swim in a very weird sort of corkscrew way and swim away, try and get away from you. You do see a number of these little octopus things, but again, as you're coming through, they sort of, you see them fleetingly go past and then they're gone.
So we're getting to the hatch?
Yeah,
So
are we going to go and look in the other Dipper, I guess?
So are you pushing all the way through, Paul, with the Dipper right to the surface?
No, I'm pushing up as far as getting them so that they can get to where they need to be.
Bear in mind,
Right.
guys, we did send the pups into the dipper and didn't see that
it's going to be
anyone in the dipper, so it might be outside around it somewhere. So have a look,
Yeah.
have a look around it as well.
So I think I'm just getting to the point underneath so that they can get to the where they are extended with the arms, get some purchase on the dipper so that they can make their way around it.
Yeah. Okay. So you and your dipper, you're now fully inside the kelp.
The weeds.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you burst out into the surface. You've got weeds all around, but they're not actually hampering you very much. And you can see the dipper a couple of yards away from you. Make an observation roll. I guess a group observation for the pair of you.
Okay.
What's your observation?
Mine is 6.
Mine is 7.
And you can get +1 for help.
Oops, I'll just drop my +1 dice.
Oh,
Here we go. So that is 8 plus stress. I get 3 successes and a panic. My panic is 6.
Okay, you're holding it together. So you do see what appears to be a body lying just under the surface, not far, a few meters from you.
We best get going, to be honest. That might take us a while to get to him.
You panic because you can see there's quite a lot of blood in the water around this figure, and I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 meters away, you can see some of the surface come up and down as if something under the water is
coming towards us.
Kind of going parallel, but kind of
Some
frowning.
form of large worm, perhaps.
Right. How far away from us?
30, 40 yards, probably.
And how far is the body?
4 or 5, quite close.
And
you're right next to the dipper as well.
Yeah, can I kind of kick myself towards it, grab it, and wrap the rope that I have connecting me to our dipper, kind of like around the body a couple of times?
Yeah, absolutely. I might make you make a move roll to do that.
Yep, sure. Just a as is.
Yes.
I think I'm going to push that. So I'll take another stress. Make sure I've got there we go. Okay, so I have 1 success, but I am panicking. And oh dear, my panic is a 9.
Okay.
I dropped something, right?
Yeah. What are you carrying?
Some form of tool to help me.
Yeah.
A
So
body and the tool to help me.
So you managed to successfully wrap this around the form.
Yeah.
You can see that there are a lot of these eels have been taking little bites out of this figure. And you've dropped your tool has got tangled in something. It's been pulled out of your hands, and you just see it sinking into the dark that's beneath you.
See you later. That doesn't gain me more stress, does it?
No.
Excellent. That's fine. I didn't need it.
But yeah, so you've now got that wrapped around.
Cool. And then I'll start pulling myself back to the gripper on the rope so I can grab it again.
Okay. Shoo.
Well, given that the task has been done, I have a choice. I could get off and investigate the dipper itself, or we can assume it malfunctioned, probably because of the weed, and get back down.
I vote the latter one.
Let's do that thing.
Yes.
Signal the guys on the arm. We have recovered a body.
Pull us out.
Retract the arm and get yourself out of the kelp.
Okay. I think I do need one more roll from you, Paul, to get yourself out of the kelp properly.
Okay.
If I can assist maybe by also retracting the arm to rescue the guys or something like that, then I will.
Please do.
They will have to go around to the airlock, obviously, but
Right, so are you going to do the arm, Oscar, or are you going to help me with a piloting dice?
No, you just have to remind me on Alien, but I have to have the skill to be able to assist you.
No,
I
you
thought
don't.
you
So I
had
don't think
piloting.
you do in Alien, you do in
Okay, in
Coriolis.
that case, I'll first help you with the piloting.
Right. And any minuses on reversing out?
No, I don't think so. No.
So I get 1 extra base dice. This is where I'll bugger up the stress roll, isn't it? Yes, it is where I'll bugger up the stress roll. 1 success, 1 panic.
Roll your panic.
How much stress have you got?
3. And I
Good.
rolled. Oh, I rolled a 2, so that's 5 stress.
5. Okay, you're managing to pull it out of. There's quite a lot of kelp coming with it. You can see, and the reason you panic is you're seeing out of this kelp as you're coming from it, a lot of these little octopus things crawling up onto the surface of the dipper as you're coming down, and kind of more and more of them are swarming aboard as you do that.
Can I increase speed?
They seem to be trying to, like, using their small tentacles to tear bits off and damage it. Can somebody roll for the armor? So this thing is now kind of getting covered in these little things.
How much armor do you want?
You have 6 armor for the dipper.
Let's have a look. And the dipper is not panicking yet, right?
But at the moment, it's taking 2 points of damage.
I only have 1 success.
Okay, so it takes 1 point of damage. Can you roll, Paul? Roll a d6 for me, please. So your hull is down to 5. You're muted, Paul.
You're muted, Paul.
Sorry, it's still a 5.
5. As you're pulling down, suddenly all the electrics go off. Everything. The whole thing goes dark. You're coming out at the bottom of the kelp. Everybody is attached. This body, whether they were alive or dead, they're not well right now. Everyone's attached to the dipper. But as the dipper comes out, it just loses all power, drifts, and then it starts to be taken by the current.
But not into the kelp.
No, you're out of the kelp. But you've got a lot of these swarming little creatures.
I tell them to go back to the kelp where they belong. Oh, go to kelp, you lot.
Electrify the hull. Oh, bugger. Zoo and Alexandra are outside.
Well,
Well,
We have no power.
If you tell us, we can let go of the hull.
We haven't got any power to electrify it with. All power's gone.
Oh no!
So-
Yes, there is that.
If someone's got Comtech, you can always try and restore the power.
I think I should try and restore the power. I have Comtech of 7, plus plenty of stress dice to add to it as well, which will really help.
And you're right next to the fuse box.
So does anyone else want to?
Can I help him? I've got Comtech of 1.
Go and help him.
Well, you're piloting, Paul. No, you can't help him.
Okay, can I help?
We're dead in the water.
Yeah, this is the second.
No, I'll take your point.
This is the same moment. You're just on the
Yeah.
controls. Coming.
You're on your own, mate.
Think anybody else can who's not actually doing something active, but Paul,
Or
you are
outside
trying
of
to
it.
pilot this thing. Yeah.
Presumably, the people hanging on the outside of
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
but-
help from the other end of the arm. It's not like I'm doing anything. I've got
You can offer-
time.
Offer him words of encouragement. Frank, yes, you can offer him a dice of help.
If only
Okay,
the
great.
communicators worked, I could say, "Have you tried switching it off and on again?"
That's obviously my first option.
I'm flicking the big red switch on the dashboard.
I get 1 success. Don't panic, so I could push, but that would obviously risk more panic.
Now,
So I probably won't.
You think with 1 success, you managed to reconnect. For some reason, the power just dropped. There was a breaker went or something, and you've managed to reset, and the power comes up again.
Okay, we've got power back. Hutton,
Oh, it's going backwards. It's getting us out and up.
So you're
Hang on,
heading
guys.
you're
Outside.
heading for the edge of the.
Yep.
Okay, so what speed are you going at? So your maximum speed underwater is 50 kilometers an hour,
Let's go slower than that.
but that's
What's
not.
our ridiculous speed and our ludicrous speed?
That is your ludicrous speed.
Okay.
For people
Your normal
hanging
speed
on-
is 25.
Yeah, based on the fact that we've got 2 people hanging on the outside, I don't think I want to go that quickly.
Possibly 3.
Possibly 3. You want a number?
So 50 kilometers an hour will take you about 90 seconds to get to the edge. I will require mobility rolls from those on the outside to hold on.
We're both really good at that. It's fun.
Yeah.
25, it'll take you about 3 minutes.
No, that's too slow. What about 40?
Oh,
We'll be fine.
That'll give a mobility roll to hold on at +1 for those outside.
Do you
You're
fancy
tapping
those
the
odds?
is that a joint mobility roll like we did before?
Yeah, I think so. But we'll need to make 2
Okay.
for the distance.
Okay.
So that's
Right.
the first one.
I'm struggling to grip, so I will re-roll my dice. Taking the panic. Oh, taking the stress. I now get just 1 success, but all my ones are luckily not panic dice.
Okay, so together you manage to just hang on. It's pretty damn tight. It's pretty close. And you can see these flipping octopus things crawling all over the place. They are still on the outside of the vessel. And they are doing more damage. Can I have another armor roll, please?
Shall I do that again?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Is it now reduced or is it still 5?
No, it's the armor's 6.
6. Oh yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. No successes.
Okay. Paul, I need another D6 roll, please, from the pilot.
Oh god, they're not the power.
Rolled a 4 this time.
4. As you're going along, the lights flicker and dim, and there's a little tss of like sparks fly, but it's still online, but it's sluggish. So I need a piloting roll from you at -1 to get you to the edge at this speed.
Life is tough.
One success and 1 stress.
Okay, outside, you need to make another mobility roll.
Yep. I'll go for
Okay.
this one. Is it at +1
Yeah.
again?
Oh, you want to do that one? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Is
Yeah,
it
plus
+1 again?
+1 again. Roll your stress, Paul.
9.
Okay, Paul, you've dropped something and your stress level goes up. So you're succeeding, you're managing, but this thing is feeling really difficult. And I think, you probably just drop the controls for the moment or something. You drop the lever, the stick.
I got 2 successes for mobility there.
Right, okay, you guys are hanging on brilliantly well, considering. Actually, not that it matters. I should have been making you make air rolls, but I'll let you off. It's not long enough. You come out. You can now see the sea above you is lightening as the kelp is coming behind you. You can see the red sun coming through the murky ocean above you. I need another armor roll for the dipper. These things are all over it. They're
All right, I'll do it again. 2 successes.
okay. So it still takes a point of damage. Roll another d6, please, Paul.
3. I'm working my way down the numbers.
That doesn't seem to have any effect. But these things are obviously. It's beginning to look a bit like the other dipper. They're basically making holes all over this thing. You might want to try surfacing quite quickly, I guess.
Everyone in the other
Yeah.
room.
We want to try and get these things off the hull, don't we?
Yeah. We're surfacing. If we're clear of the stream, we're
You are clear of the
surfacing.
stream. Yeah, okay. I'm going to narrate this bit because we've now gone past 11 o'clock. These things basically kind of suck the energy out of the power cells. When your dipper is dead of power, they drop off. But before you get to that stage, you're able to put a call back into base for help. And a little while later, other dippers come out and rescue you. The dipper that you left behind is still obviously out in the middle of the kelp field. The person that you tried to rescue is obviously dead. Whether they were dead, whether you got to them or not, or whether they died from drowning on the way back, you don't know, but they're dead.
Was it another one of the wildcatters that was that Dimitri saw?
It was, yes. So the person who's dead is called Ming Yijun. The guy who's alive is Viktor Drubov, and he's rushed into intensive care. And he's very ill. And I think that's... Where was he?
He wasn't one of the ones that we found in that cave as well, was he? By
He
any
was.
chance?
Yes, he was.
Inspector, I think you should take a closer look at this in the future.
Yes, indeed. I'd like to make a statement, whether there's a sort of colony news thing, that this goes against the principles of a progressive united front. These people are trying, but they're not just putting themselves at risk. They're putting UPP resources and UPP personnel at risk when we try to rescue them.
Okay.
We need a strong union, I say, of workers working for a common cause.
The other dipper will be retrieved. Does Inspector Zhu, when he's back on duty, want to take the lead for investigating that dipper? What was going on with it, or leave that up to others?
Well, will it be the next scenario? Because I feel I should back out a bit.
It won't be. It won't be the next scenario. The next scenario is going to kind of be concurrent with this one.
Right. Okay. In which case, yes, I feel that I should take the lead in the investigation.
Okay. Cool.
An inspector from LaSalle Bionational's point of view, these are all UPP people, aren't they?
They are, yes. Need one moment, gentlemen.
UPP people behaving in a very capitalist manner.
You could say that, but they certainly aren't. They certainly aren't towing your particular organisation's line, or for that matter, my organisation's line.
No, they're not. They are just criminals putting the whole colony and your profits in danger. I hope for some cooperation in my investigation.
I'm sure the rest of the members of our team will be more than happy to cooperate, but I suspect this might be something running a bit deeper in UPP.
The Union of Progressive Peoples is a well-oiled machine, and we can be the lubricant that finds the bit of grit, which is often, frankly, capitalist grit that has got into the machine and spoils things. Have no fear. I make it my responsibility to cut that grit out like a cancer.
And so you should. Very laudable. I wonder why we're finding the same people again.
That's a good question.
And why they know about this stuff, Oscar, you were the one that was not, were you not, that was told to lead this expedition?
Was I?
Well, you or Alexander, I assumed it was you.
Us collectively, I think.
We are all in this together.
So somebody, before you were informed, somebody informed these wildcatters. That has to stop. We need to find.
Who knows how they ended up out here? What happened after they were retrieved from the cave? I cannot remember, to be honest.
I mean, the kelp field wasn't exactly subtle.
I think they were not disciplined terribly well by the union boss.
So three of them were given a reprimand, and the fourth, who'd assaulted Security Officer Graf, is still in custody awaiting trial.
So these guys basically went on another trip.
So it
Didn't learn
seems
their lesson, did they, from the last time?
2 or 3. We don't know whether the third one's still there. We also need to work out how come the records show that no dippers have gone out. There's a lot to work out, but
Yeah.
that will have to be the next episode of
The ops manager might be in
Inspector
on
Shoe
it.
Mysteries.
Well, you can when you get back, you can find that the dipper was actually recorded out under the name of where is it? Yin Shufen, who was the other person, who was the third person who was reprimanded from previously. However, Yin Shufen is currently in the medical bay with an illness, so has been on the base for the whole period. Has been in hospital basically that entire
It's got an
time.
alibi. Well, that's a story for another night.
But that's a story for another night. Did we want to do an experience before we wrap up?
Sure.
I'm happy to.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. People, viewers, if you want to watch the exciting experience, that's great. So, first and
We've
foremost,
got our viewers at a peak at the moment.
Excellent, good. This is the hype.
It's just gone up. You mentioned experience and somebody joined.
Hey!
Yeah, we've got a whole 4 on YouTube, Twitch.
On Twitch,
That's not bad.
I think
That's
3
not
other
bad.
is us.
It's not me, anyway. Anyway, right. Did you participate? Yes, you did. Gain a point.
Yes.
Did you risk something or sacrifice something to further your personal agenda? I guess probably not.
I did.
I think I did. I went out there and risked my life.
I was proceeding with the whole agricultural stuff and making this a viable
that's,
place. And
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'll give you that. Did you risk your life for a buddy or another PC?
I think we all
No.
did.
Well, unless Alexander. Well, yeah, I'd argue that we did.
I went octopus wrestling, but I just was too late.
I think we all risked our lives. Everybody on this boat risked our lives for the boat and everybody else on the boat. Therefore, we all get a point.
Going outside was definitely a risk of life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fighting
but
an
for
octopus.
not for another PC though.
No.
Okay, now all right. I'm going to refine these because for a 2-hour session you can't get 7 experience.
Yeah.
But I'll let you have it this time. Go on, have a point for that, everybody. Go on.
Thanks.
Did you challenge or stand up to your rival PC? Bullying Paul for the entire game does not count.
My rival wasn't here, so
Do I get a point because I was bullied for the entire game?
And you stood up to it. You stood up for it yourself, and for the UB. What do you call yourselves?
The Sale by National.
Okay, Paul. Yeah, I think you can have a point for being bullied for 2.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. I should have a story point as well for that.
If you made a panic roll, you get a point.
Hey.
I made a panic
Many
roll.
panic
Hooray.
I did. It went terribly.
Did you overcome a dangerous event using violent or non-violent means? It was a dangerous event.
I think that's probably what going outside would count as not risking life for.
Yeah, I agree. So
That's overcoming a dangerous event.
I'm not doubling the points there, so
Yeah,
nothing for that. Did you make a significant discovery or revelation?
Yeah,
We
don't
found the
I don't know what
wild
you call significant.
Yeah.
don't go and rescue these stupid buggers that are going out on their own.
I think I'm going to give Tony a point there because he did risk himself to try and get this octopus thing.
off his face.
Into a box as a sample.
He made
Get
the
in the box.
significant discovery that the octopus was quite angry.
No, he's not off his face, Frank. He's only had 2 or 3 beers. Sorry, that was not very funny, really. Anyway, did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
He always lost a fight to an octopus. That's extraordinarily dumb.
He navigated.
I did not.
dipper
Did I
upside
beat
down.
the octopus? I beat the octopus.
Yeah, but you beat a creature that big.
Yeah, so that means Thomas owed me
That's
10
like
Australian dollars.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, he doubled that bet us into a
Yeah,
number.
He did. When you were about to be
At one
suffocated
point.
to death, he doubled it. Yeah.
I thought he
20.
tripled it.
I
So
need
what,
to
I mean,
look-
20 Australian dollars is worth what about tuppence?
Pound.
Anyway? Did you prefer? No, okay. I'm not going to give any for that. And the last one, I'm not counting anyway. Did you earn money? So I think that's your total, chaps. Who got what?
I got
3.
4 points.
I got
there.
4 points as well.
I think I got 4. I can't count that far, but I think it's 4.
Okay, cool. I think 3 or 4 is probably a good number for a scenario that's
Yeah,
2.5 hours long.
Boxes left.
So
Oh, my character sheet. I can't put another 4.
cool. Well, excellent. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Unless anyone's got any other last messages, see you in 2 weeks for the next installment, which will be guest GM'd by my lovely brother, Tony. Dimitri. Because I'm going to be away sitting in a hot tub enjoying myself.
I will do my best to live up to the mostly adequate standards of the Effect podcast.
Excellent. Well done. It's going to be a hard task to reach that level, isn't it, Tony? But good luck.
Well, it is. I'll try though.
You got
yeah,
to practice
fine.
being a stingy GM.
Shall we say goodbye to
Yes,
our
I think
various
we
viewers?
should.
Goodbye and good night.
Thank you all for watching, guys. And see you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
See you all.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.